At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
The end of the work week is here for us, but that doesn't mean the fun has to stop. In fact, we have another exciting show lined up to close out the week with you. I'm Jiminita Swain, and this is What's Trending. It's always a pleasure to have you here with us, and thank you for making us a part of your evening. And coming up on tonight's show, pressure is a part of life, but it doesn't have to control us. How do you mentally stay strong when the pressure is on? We're joined by a performance psychologist sharing the practical strategies to build resilience, protect your mental well-being, and perform at your best. Plus, work can be about more than just deadlines and meetings. The friendships we build in the office can make our jobs more enjoyable, but can they also create challenges? We're exploring the benefits, boundaries, and balance of workplace friendships. And closing things out, work for 4 days, get paid for 5. Could this be the future of work? We're breaking down the 4-day work week in economics. We're just getting started. Don't go anywhere. What's Trending continues right after this.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
The tastiest thing about soccer is sharing it with the whole team, just like the new Ready for Soccer. A delicious lineup of 16 slices and 4 flavor sections. Perfect for sharing from start to finish, even beyond the 90 minutes. Get your team together and dig in, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Marco's Pizza. Marco's Pizza. Summer never tasted so good. Marco's Summer Party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza. Summer never tasted so good.
Welcome back. Pressure is something we all face, whether it's deadlines, family responsibilities, exams, or high-stake moments. But what if thriving under pressure isn't about doing more, but taking better care of our mental well-being? Joining us this evening is Dr. Stephanie Coakley, a Bahamian making an impact internationally as a performance psychologist, helping individuals and teams build resilience, manage stress, and perform at their best. Dr. Coakley, it's a pleasure to have you with us again.
Well, thanks. It's great to be back, Jiminita.
Thanks, too. So before we dive in, tell us a little bit about your journey as a Bahamian now living abroad. What inspired you to specialize in psychology and performance?
Well, the primary goal that I had ever since I was 11 years old was I wanted to be a psychologist. And that took me to pursue an education and get my master's as a therapist. Well, what I really wanted to do was combine 2 of my passions, because I care deeply about people having satisfaction in life and having a fulfilled life, but I also care deeply about sport and performance. And so I combined 2 of my passions, and that led me to pursue a career in mental performance for high-performing athletes and just high-performing individuals in general.
I get that. So when people hear the phrase performing under pressure, they often think about elite athletes, but this really applies to all of us, doesn't it? What does performing well under pressure actually look like?
Yes, absolutely. It does apply to all of us because think about it, we're all performers. So the foundation of performing well under pressure is contingent on your preparation. How prepared are you? Did you put in the work beforehand? That enables you to have more confidence because confidence is something that we can build before the event. And so if we are prepared, then we can go in with the confidence that we have done every single thing that we can in order to perform and be ready to meet this moment. So that's the first part of it, preparation. Then the second component is, are you able to maintain a calm demeanor? When we're under pressure, we tend to speed up and we tend to make mistakes, and that generally doesn't lead to positive outcomes. So we want to be able to maintain our presence and our calmness under pressure. So one of the ways that you can do that is to lean into your routine. If you have a routine for said performance, then lean into it. The thing about a routine is it helps to ground us in the present moment. And then the last thing I'd say is that do not underestimate the power of the breath. When we are under pressure, our breathing is one of the things that changes almost immediately. And so just remember, to maintain our composure, you want to make sure you're taking deep breaths. Under pressure, we take shallow breaths.
That's definitely...
So deep breaths in the belly. And that's one way these are some ways, rather, to help you to perform.
A lot of great tips there, for sure. So life can feel like one long to-do list. How can we tell the difference between healthy stress that keeps us motivated and stress that's becoming unhealthy?
Well, healthy stress, or we call positive stress, eustress, and then distress is unhealthy stress. And one of the ways to determine whether or not the stress is healthy or not is it interfering with your day-to-day functioning? Are you able to continue to have healthy relationships? Are you performing to your potential at work? Are you sleeping well? Do you have the right appetite? All right, so if you start to notice changes in your functioning and you're not the person that you want to be, that might be a signal to you that something else might be wrong. The stress might be too much, and you are unable right now to cope with it in a way that is helpful.
That makes a lot of sense. So we all have those busy seasons. What are some simple habits we can build into our daily lives to become more resilient before the pressure starts piling up?
So I love this question because I tend to always be proactive. I want to be proactive instead of reactive. So this question about what can we do to protect ourselves when the stressors arrive, first thing I'd say is develop a routine for self-care. I know it might sound corny, but I tend to prescribe at least 30 minutes a day for some type of self-care activity. You absolutely are worth it. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. You deserve 30 of those minutes. Self-care can look like exercise, reading, doing art, joining or going to your meetings or your clubs, things that essentially self-care is anything that makes you it doesn't deplete your energy, it restores your energy. So anything you like to do for fun, that could be considered self-care. And so 30 minutes of self-care a day is where I would start.
That's some good advice. So social media often makes it seem like everyone has it all together. How does that constant comparison affect our mental health, and what's the healthiest way to navigate it?
Well, the first thing you need to understand is that people are only posting highlights of their life. You're getting a snippet of somebody's life, and what they're not posting are their disappointments. They're only posting the vacation, the milestones, the celebration, but they're not posting the disappointments and just the regular everyday moments in their lives. Well, we have a tendency to compare ourselves, and that can affect a person's mental health. It can increase anxiety, increase depression, and lower self-esteem, and are feeling inadequate. You know, we will develop feelings of inadequacy. So one way to handle that is to just set boundaries for yourself. What does that look like? Limit your time on social media. When you're bored, don't just pick up your phone. Call a friend. Pick up a book. Read. Maybe go out for a walk. instead of just relying on the quick fix and the thing that's actually probably interfering with your mental health, your relationships, your focus and attention, and your ability to be present in your real life.
And quickly for our final question, if you could leave our viewers with one practical tip they can start using today to better manage pressure and protect their mental well-being, what would it be?
My final tip, while one strategy is not going to work for everyone, this is my recommendation. Everybody should see a mental health provider at least twice a year, just for a wellness check. Nothing has to be wrong with you to want to be better. And a person would not go through their whole life and never go to the doctor. If you have a brain, you are at risk for mental health challenges, so why not go in and see either a licensed clinical social worker, a licensed therapist, or psychologist, and go and see, like, am I good? And if I'm not good, what do I need to do in order to be good? Because at the end of the day, you deserve to have a fulfilling and a satisfying life. And this is one way to start moving in that direction.
Well, Dr. Coakley, thank you so much for joining us today. Definitely some great tips. And it's always wonderful to see Bahamians making a global impact. And we appreciate you sharing these practical strategies to help all of us build resilience and perform at our best.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Well, from building mental resilience to celebrating academic excellence, we're now shining the spotlight on students whose hard work has paid off. Graduation season is all about celebrating achievement, and these students have certainly earned the spotlight. Today, we're recognizing the valedictorians and salutatorians from the Mangrove Key High School in Andros and the Livingston and Coakley High School in Exuma for reaching the top of their graduating classes. Let's celebrate their success.
Congratulations to the class of 2026 valedictorian and salutatorian. Your hard work, dedication, and perseverance have earned you this outstanding achievement. As you begin this exciting new chapter, may your future be filled with continued success and limitless opportunities. Our sponsors salute academic excellence and proudly join in celebrating your remarkable achievement.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
1, 2, 3, what you gonna choose? Strawberry swirl, caramel too. Cookie dough bite, brownie swirl dream. Oreo crunch, make the whole team scream. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Swirl it, twist it, taste that wave. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Cinnamon toast on a cool vanilla. Chocolate base and the flavor gets bigger. Sweet on sweet, yeah, that's the fun. Better get one, better run, run, run. Gotta be frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
Isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? Ah, you haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit TDCBahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
Thanks for staying with us. For many of us, coworkers become more than just colleagues. They become the people we celebrate with, rely on, and sometimes build lasting friendships with. But how do we maintain those connections while balancing professionalism and healthy boundaries? Joining us this evening is Simone Bo, a human resources and leadership specialist, here to share how we can build meaningful workplace relationships while keeping the right balance. Simone, welcome back to What's Trending.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
It's great to have you here with us. So let's start with that one question so many people ask. Can we really have friends with or be friends with our coworkers, or should we just keep it separate in terms of work and personal relationships?
Honestly, I believe that we can have friends at work. And to be honest with you, I have made some lifetime friends through work. I think the most important thing, as you said in your introduction, it's about the balance, right? And keeping it professional.
That makes a lot of sense. So think about the best team you've ever worked with. What role do genuine friendships play in creating positive, productive workplaces?
That's a great question. I want to share about my very first working experience.
Okay.
And that would have been my introduction to the world of work with people other than family, right? And what made that really significant were the people that I worked with, my colleagues. I was a teacher at the time. And so we were able to develop varying levels of relationships. So there were persons you would say are on the outer skirts, right? So you were courteous, you were friendly, you asked questions, you maybe interacted when you needed to, right? Those persons on those fringes.
Right.
So professional courtesies. And then you moved in a little closer, and maybe they were people in your department and you have to interact with them more. Maybe you might have lunch with them. You would do more in building that relationship because you do more with them.
Right.
And then there are the ones that you actually connect with, right, on a personal level. And when I mean a personal level, that you're like-minded. You see things the right way. You have things in common. And that's when it starts to spill out from work into going out together or watching a play together or doing something, right, or attending family functions, things like that. And so that's what I really appreciated about that work environment, because we all got along in different ways, from very close relationships to even the ones that were more, you know,
and that makes
on the fringes.
That makes a lot of sense. So we've all heard the saying, don't mix business with pleasure. Is there any truth to that when it comes to workplace relationships, or do some of our colleagues just get too familiar?
Yes, some people do. And so I think there are a couple of things that we have to be mindful of that sometimes we forget. Work is work.
Yes.
I think when you get relationships and friendships at work, that's like a fringe benefit. That's the icing on the cake, or the cherry on top, as we would say. But that's not why we go to work. We go to work to work.
Yes.
And we want to be able to work among a team and to be able to collaborate, to resolve conflict, and to do all of those things that we need to do to get the job done. And I think sometimes people forget the reason why they come to work.
That is very true. So another thing now we got to get into is office gossip, rather, that can spread quickly. So how do you build these strong relationships without getting pulled into drama? And sometimes we hear when people say we treat each other like family. Does that create unrealistic expectations and further blur the lines, you think?
Yes, gossip is something that you want to stay away from all the time. And especially when people come to you with it, you never know how they're going to carry it back. And they're going to call your name and say what you said.
Just mix up.
X themselves out of it, right? So you end up in conflicts or people giving you the side eye, you don't even know why. So my personal advice is to always steer away from that. Gossip is destructive. It's never meant to uplift or anything else. We're spreading things that we don't know. And one of the things that I think for leaders in organizations as well to remember is that gossip or the grapevine is heightened where there is a lack of information. So people will make up what they don't know.
This is true.
Right?
Now, promotions is another thing we want to talk about quickly.
if you get promoted, say your friend suddenly becomes your boss or vice versa, how do you protect both friendships and ensure that there's still a professional relationship?
This requires great maturity between those persons, right? Because some people will feel like now that you're my friend, I'm supposed to get special favors. I could come in a little later. I could do what I feel like. I could take longer at lunch because you're my boy, you're my girl. I don't have to follow the rules. Beside the point, right? That's when you actually ought to follow the rules, because if people already know, especially if you're promoted from the ranks, people already know you all have a relationship.
So you definitely
they're going to have you under the microscope.
In line. So before we let you go, what's one piece of advice you would want to tell anyone who wants to come to work and build great relationships and still maintain strong professional reputations?
I would say find the balance for you, right? Know why you came to work, but also know that we are there for a long time and we need to interact with people. So just maintain your boundaries. Don't overshare, getting too deep into your personal information and things like that. But just be open, be kind, be friendly, all of the things that make us great Bahamians, right?
And stay professional.
And stay professional.
Well, Simone, thank you so much for joining us. As always, you've given us practical advice that many of our viewers can relate to. So we appreciate you for helping us to navigate the balance between friendships and professionalism in the workplace.
Thank you.
Again.
Good to be back.
Economics, presented by Sand Dollar, the digital Bahamian dollar. Could the 4-day work week be coming to the Bahamas? That is the question we're diving into in this week's Economics. What if your weekend started on Thursday night instead of Friday evening? No, it's not a fantasy, and it's not just a social media trend. Around the world, more companies are embracing the 4-day work week, giving employees an extra day off while aiming to maintain the same level of productivity. The idea is simple: work smarter, stay focused, and get the job done in less time. Think about it this way. If your teacher gives you 30 minutes to clean up the classroom, but everyone spends half the time chatting and getting distracted, it takes longer. But if everyone works together and stays focused, the classroom gets cleaned up faster, and everyone gets to enjoy more free time. That's the basic idea behind a 4-day work week. Now, before you get started planning 3-day weekends every week, this model isn't a one-size-fits-all. Jobs in tourism, healthcare, emergency services, retail, and many other industries still need people on the job every day. But for some office-based businesses, the idea is becoming an increasingly realistic option. Here at home, conversations about flexible work arrangements have surfaced before, especially as workplaces continue to evolve after the pandemic. While a nationwide shift isn't on the horizon, the global trend is prompting employers to think differently about productivity, employee well-being, and work-life balance. So here's today's economics question. If you could work 4 focused days and enjoy a 3-day weekend without taking a pay cut, would you do it? One thing's for sure, it's a conversation that's no longer just happening overseas. It's one that could shape the future of work right here in the Bahamas. We're hoping, too, that it's sooner rather than later. That's been your Economics.
What's trending in business? Who's making major money moves? And how's it shaping your future? This is Economics, your front row seat to the biggest stories in business, innovation, and finance. Powered by the Sand Dollar, the digital currency of the Central Bank of the Bahamas. It's fast, secure, Bahamian. We're breaking down the numbers, the news, and what it means to you. Tune in every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the trends, the insights, and the stories that matter. Get informed, get inspired, get in the mix with Economics. I missed you all so much yesterday, but I stepped out of the studio for a very worthwhile reason. Take a look.
Now, it's great to get outside of the studio. And of course, if we're outside of the studio, you had to come with us. Where are we? We are outside of the John Batiste Jazz Club for a very special performance from none other than Music Soul Child. Who doesn't want to see music? I am excited. Inside is definitely getting packed. Persons are ready to see what the show is going to be all about. And of course, I had to take you along with us. What's trending is always where things are trending. So come along.
After arriving, I was escorted to my seat to await the start of the show. The John Batiste Jazz Club sets the perfect mood with its artistic decor, warm lighting, and classic jazz club charm. It's the kind of venue that feels like it was built for legendary performances. From the music-inspired details above the bar to the DJ keeping the energy alive before showtime, the atmosphere had everyone ready for the main event. Then, the moment everyone had been waiting for. Music Soul Child took the stage. For the next hour, he treated fans to hit after hit, filling the room with smooth vocals, nostalgia, and plenty of sing-along moments. But it wasn't just about the music. Music encouraged everyone to get out of their seats, dance, and simply enjoy the moment. The vibe was relaxed, intimate, and full of energy. And yes, I even joined in with a little two-step. For Sean and Ronnie Mortimer, it made for a night to remember.
His music, the dances was great, the performance was great, the band was awesome.
The energy.
And the energy.
The one that says love don't change, that was my favorite. That was actually our wedding song. One of our songs for our wedding.
As a fellow musician, Bodine Victoria appreciated more than just the songs. She was especially impressed by music stage presence and musicianship.
Something that we see a whole lot anymore. It's a very unique experience to see him preserve jazz culture in that way. You know, you have like your Ella Fitzgerald, who used to do scatting at the time, and being able to see somebody contemporary do that is just such an amazing experience. So that's my part, the scat.
And from the very first note, it was clear that Tanya Major knew every lyric. A fan from the very beginning, this concert was everything she'd hoped for.
Tonight, what would you say to persons who are so on the fence on whether or not they should come?
I honestly would tell you to come out. Don't wait. Like, this was such an epic concert. He's so engaging. The music is inviting. The lovers are out. Come out and enjoy yourself. It's a night of clean fun, excitement, and enjoyment. Come out and enjoy yourself. Don't wait. We had us a time. We had us a time.
Well, from all accounts, the Music Soul Child concert is definitely one you don't want to miss. You have another opportunity to check it out Thursday night. But if you don't, we got you covered. Hope you had fun. I know I had a whole lot of fun. Until next time, you know it's all about what's trending.
So ladies, no more turning up the radio when a mystery light pops on. The Bambootown Urban Renewal Center presents the Women's Empowerment Workshop On the Road and Under the Hood this Saturday, July 25th at 10 a.m. at Battery and Tire Specialists in Centerville. Join special host Charmaine Lewis for a hands-on crash course in car confidence. Learn how to change a flat, check your oil, read dashboard symbols, and handle roadside emergencies like a total boss. Limited spots are available. Call 327-7654, 457-2309, or 467-5093 to lock in your spot. Stay tuned. What's Trending comes back after the break with even more.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
That's it for today and for another great week of What's Trending. Thanks for joining us all week long. Follow us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS, and we'll see you on Monday at 6 p.m.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. Port Lucaya Marina demolition getting underway. Also, hurricane preparations ramp up. Officials urge residents not to let their guard down. And police search for a man wanted for breaching bail.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, it's the first visible step in a major redevelopment project for the Port Lucaya Marina. Officials say the transformation is a rebirth for the waterfront that will increase maritime activity, strengthen tourism, and serve as a catalyst for new economic growth on Grand Bahama. Our Sherelle Dames has tonight's top story.
Well, the sound of heavy machinery behind me tells a story that's been years in the making. The demolition of the Port Lucaya Marina has officially begun. Once a vibrant hub for luxury yachts, tour operators, and visitors, the Port Lucaya Marina served as a gateway that supported businesses, tourism, and entertainment throughout the marketplace. But that was nearly a decade ago, and today, the marina is entering the first stage of a 7-figure redevelopment project expected to breathe new life into the entire Port Lucaya marketplace.
This marina will be state-of-the-art with first-class welcome center, designed to host tournaments, flotillas, boating events, and strengthening the overall visitors' experience.
Meanwhile, following the recent acquisition of the Grand Bahama Yacht Club and Port Lucaya Marina by Bahama Land Investments, led by principal owners Peter Hunt and Smerl Hokovich, officials say the redevelopment demonstrates the owners' commitment to restoring the marina to its former glory. While demolition and redevelopment contractor David Miller says he's confident the completed project will make Freeport great again.
The initial installation that we are going to put in place is going to be about 30 initially. That's going to be in the first phase. So it's, again, as I mentioned, a very aggressive approach, but we're going to restore the dock back to 100 plus slips as we've done in the past.
Executive Marine Management has been engaged to carry out the demolition and complete the redevelopment of Port Lucaya Marina. So we will be using our heavy equipment and barges to demo the docks and take them over to the staging area and then take them to the landfill.
Now, while the focus is on the marina, many hope that the greatest impact of the Port Lucaya marketplace will be felt by the straw vendors and business owners, those who've called it home for years.
For our tenants, who have shown such resilience. This brings new hope.
Management met with all the stakeholders here recently, and we're working together to get foot traffic back in Port Lucaya. But seeing now that the marina is being imploded and being reconstructed, it's a breath of fresh air, because being here from the beginning, when this wasn't even here and when it was built, to see it now research back to be rebuilt again, oh, I can't wait for the boaters to come.
Now, as this is day one for the demolition process, officials have not provided a timeline for the date of completion. However, they say that the work underway marks a major transformation for the Port Lucaya marketplace. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sherelle Dames.
Well, as the Atlantic hurricane season progresses, disaster officials are urging Grand Bahamians not to let their guard down. Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for disaster risk management, information and broadcasting, Mikel Bonnaby, says preparations are already underway to ensure the island is ready for or should a major storm threaten. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
The strongest hurricane is the one you're not prepared for. With the peak of the season ahead, disaster officials say preparation cannot wait. Minister of State with responsibility for disaster risk management, Mikel Bonnaby, says government agencies are working to ensure Grand Bahama is ready before the next major storm threatens.
We have briefings on a monthly basis with the heads of the respective departments, and so we want to take a very measured approach. We don't know exactly what Mother Nature is going to throw at us, but we want to be in a position to be prepared. And so we're making sure that our shelters are ready, we're making sure that personnel are ready, we're making sure that island administrators understand their functions, which they've been doing, and we just want to make sure that we're not caught unawares.
The minister says his ministry is conducting spot checks across the islands to ensure evacuation plans are in place and communities are ready. Above all, he says the government's top priority is protecting lives.
It's about being prepared, it's about being proactive, and that's what we're focusing on.
Drawing on the lessons of past hurricanes that devastated Grand Bahama, particularly Hurricane Dorian, the minister says those experiences continue to shape the government's disaster preparedness and response strategy, with a renewed focus on strengthening readiness and improving emergency response.
You're looking at evacuations, you're looking at projections, you're looking at what the Met is going to project, you're looking at the building code, you're looking at cutoff points for where persons are evacuating, making sure where the flood zones are. And as you know, Grand Bahama is a very low-lying island, and so that is something that we're constantly looking at. We know climate change is a major factor, but we also know that the Prime Minister has traveled around the world, not just speaking to it, but the fact that we're building out the DRM to be able to take on the big challenges that we're facing. So we're taking those words and turning those into action. But Mother Nature sometimes tries to get the best of us, but we have to be resilient and keep fighting.
And for the residents of Grand Bahama and the Northern Islands, Minister Bonnaby says the message is clear. Preparedness is everyone's responsibility. He is urging residents to stay informed, have a plan in place, and make hurricane readiness a priority before a storm threatens.
Standard things that you can do: make sure that you clear debris from around your homes, make sure you look for windows that may be broken, see if you can get those repaired. I think the people of Grand Bahama have proven that they're resilient, but we need to be more than resilient. We need to be prepared, and we're going to do that collectively.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Meanwhile, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for disaster risk management, information and broadcasting, Mikel Bonnaby, also continuing efforts to strengthen collaboration across government. During a courtesy call today on Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, the two ministers discussed matters affecting the island, including disaster preparedness, communication, and areas of mutual cooperation.
It's very important for ministries to be able to remain interconnected, for us to be able to share ideas and find out exactly how we can help each other. It represents unity, it represents collectivism, and I think it speaks to what we're projecting, and we're projecting a unified front, but also that we're working together. And if we work together, we can get a whole lot more done for the people of Grand Bahama and the Bahamas in general.
Minister Moxie welcoming the visit, saying there is still significant work to be done as she continues to aggressively address the concerns and challenges facing Grand Bahama. She adds that with Grand Bahama having faced many challenges over the years, she is encouraged by the proactive approach being taken and the continued collaboration to move the island forward.
Just happy that he came by and that he is with his teams on the island and ensuring that he's able to address the issues. And then, of course, also with BIS and ZNS, who ensures that the news is out there, and that also with his staff to ensure that they have the resources they need in order to execute their duties. It speaks to collaboration. It speaks to the fact that Grand Bahama Island is important in the overall development of our country. And it also speaks to the Ministry for Grand Bahama's role in collaboration, in partnerships, because that's what we do. Our ministry is one where we have to collaborate with all of the various ministers and ministries and agencies in order to get things done on Grand Bahama Island.
Well, in news from the crime beat, police on Grand Bahama need to question 28-year-old Shaquille O'Neal Fife in connection with breach of bail. Fife is a resident of Palmetto Avenue. He is of light brown complexion, slim build, while his height is unknown. If you spot him, contact Central Police Station or Division at 350-3138, Police Emergency at 911 or 919, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, that's 328-8477, Family Island at 242-300-8477.
And still to come.
A young man takes a major step in his faith journey as he is ordained to the Holy Order of Deacons. Stay tuned to That Story, Sports, and more when we come back.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Clear windows do more than improve your view. They also help maximize the natural light entering your home. For regular maintenance, use a soft microfiber cloth and a gentle glass cleaner. Don't forget to wipe down the frames and tracks as well, since dust and debris can build up over time. If your windows slide or open, keeping the tracks clean can also help them to operate more smoothly. Quality products deserve quality care. Corner Bahamas.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I am ready.
I am ready. I am ready.
Ready or not, it's here. That's right, the biggest gospel show with me, Uncle T Baby Boy, on 8:10 a.m. That's right, interviews, greatest songs, praise and worship. It's going to be exciting. We're going to take the Bahamas to the world and bring the world to the Bahamas.
Have the following supplies on hand at the start of the hurricane season. A minimum 3-day supply of water, which provides 1 gallon of water per person per day. Minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food items. Flashlights and extra batteries. A battery-powered radio to receive broadcasts that will keep you informed of the storm. A first aid kit. A 7-day supply of any prescribed medication. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. A major milestone for Astaire Dane, who has officially been ordained to the Holy Order of Deacons. The ordination service took place Wednesday evening at the Church of the Ascension, where the Right Reverend and Right Honorable Leish Boyd presented Dane with his instrument and instruction, and family and friends and well-wishers were present. During the ceremony, Bishop Boyd charged the newly ordained deacon to carry out his ministry with distinction, humility, and grace as he embarks on this new chapter of service.
Astaire, receive authority for the office and work of a deacon in the Church of God. Take this stole as from the hand of God, that you may fulfill your ministry, for it is he that gives the increase of grace. Receive this book and take authority to proclaim the gospel and to assist in the administration of the sacraments.
Reverend Father Lyndon Douglas describing the occasion as a monumental milestone for Dane, saying he was chosen for such a time as this to answer the call to ministry and serve the church with faithfulness and purpose.
To be chosen is about purpose. It's about service, and it is more importantly about a relationship with God. And Astaire, God has chosen you because you are valued to God's team and God's mission. He has chosen you to come with new eyes, a new vision, a new energy that the church and this nation so desperately needs.
Well, a summer camp raising awareness of careers in STEM is the primary goal of this camp, designed for students ages 11 to 16. The program offering 5 different learning tracks through engaging hands-on activities, field trips, and practical training. Participants gain valuable exposure to STEM fields. The week-long camp concludes with each student receiving a certificate of completion, recognizing their commitment and achievements.
So this camp aims to make our youth more aware of the opportunities available to them in STEM, because our belief is that if you're not aware of the opportunities, then you can't take advantage of them. So our camp offers chemical engineering stream, civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and biomedical engineering. Our camp has been running for over 10 years now. We have come to Grand Bahama in the past, but it's been quite a few years, so we're now bringing it back to Grand Bahama this year.
Hosted by Sunland Baptist Academy, registration for the Beta STEM Camp closes on July 24th. The camp runs from July 27th through August 1st and is focused on building a strong STEM pipeline in Grand Bahama by inspiring and preparing the next generation of innovators. The registration fee is $150, which includes all camp materials and a daily lunch.
So we're trying to build a STEM pipeline. So getting students from early who might be interested in this field so that they know that the career options available to them in the country. So one of the features of the camp is also field trips. So we send them to various industrial companies so they can get an idea of what's available to them on the island so that they can become equipped in the future to then just take up residence in these spaces.
Gotcha. Benico Benabi, you are our Facebook friend of the day. Thank you so much for your support, and we hope that you are enjoying your day. And that does it for this portion of the news. Be sure to stay tuned. Shane Stubbs has your check on sports when we come back.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I like this one.
Before us, there was an idea.
That idea
allows us to serve you.
Because it's not.
It's not just about the shoes.
It's all about helping our customers.
Look good and feel good. Let us put shoes on your feet.
Your home should be a place of comfort, pride, and possibility. At the Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union, we're here to help you make that vision a reality. Whether you're upgrading your kitchen, adding a new room, or finally building the home you've always wanted, our home improvement and mortgage programs are designed with you in mind. Qualified members can access mortgages with competitive financing, flexible options, and affordable deposit requirements. Improving or purchasing your home may be closer than you think. Visit us at the Four-Way Co-op Plaza or call us at 352-4139 to learn how you can get started today.
It's your At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
You know that it's been the 8 o'clock hour. That means it's time for the morning run mix. Better known as PJ alongside DJ Future, right? Call me up right now.
DJ Future, this one, you know I'm locked in. I'm on your run this morning. Keep it coming, override, override.
I got you.
Morning Run Mix with DJ Future. Power 104.5 FM.
Welcome to the ZNS Total Sports Cave, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs. For 3 weeks, young athletes have been hitting the track at the Ministry of Youth and Sports Track and Field Camp. Director Ravano Ferguson says the enthusiastic turnout is a welcome sign for the future of the sport.
It's definitely been going well. We have it set up into different sections. We have jumps, throws, strength and conditioning, and we also have sprints. So we try to give the kids a variety of different sport and activities in terms of track and field. They rotate almost like every 30 to 40 minutes and go to a different section. We have close to 60 athletes that come out here daily, and the numbers haven't really dropped. We go into our competition mode next week, so everything's going to be a competition with them in terms of each aspect of what we're going to do. So we're going to keep them engaged, so hopefully it builds on them for this upcoming track season.
Over in corporate league action, the Pelican Bay Flyers kept their momentum rolling with a 41-32 win over Bahama Rock. Theodore Grant led the way with 16 points, while Giovanni Thompson added 13 in the losing effort. GB Power put on a dominant display, cruising past Club Fortuna 52-28. Ahmad Pratt stole the show, pouring in a game-high 30 points. And in the night's thriller, the Container Port Stalkers handed the Celebration Key Cruisers their first loss of the season, escaping with a 50-49 victory. Raymond Eggs led the Stalkers with 26 points, while Keno Russell finished with 18 for the Cruisers. And over in the WNBA, the New York Liberty survived another nail-biter, edging the Chicago Sky 95-94. Jonquil Jones recorded another double-double with 14 points, 10 rebounds, along with 2 blocks. The Bahamian Star now ranks 7th on the WNBA's all-time double-double list. The Liberty return to the court on July 28th when they take on the Los Angeles Sparks. And that's my time, but your local forecast is next. I'm Shane Stubbs. Remember, you deserve everything good that happens in your life.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
More Drug. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Welcome to Snack Box Variety Store. We carry a variety of snack foods, Gatorades, sodas, drinks, chips, cookies, wholesale and retail items, pet foods, deodorant, everything for your everyday needs. We're located number 11 Brickhouse Plaza. Our store hours are from 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. And you can contact us at 373-9632.
Get a jump on your health and fitness goals with the Fitness Connections Transformation Challenge. We've already helped hundreds of people get closer to their health and fitness goals and achieve awesome results like you see here. You can scan the QR code to find out more. But let me tell you what all comes with the challenge. One, you get 20% off coupons to the Fitness Connection every 2 weeks. You get coaching calls with us on Zoom. You get accountability, us checking in on you. And you also get the chance to win $1,000 and other prizes if you are the winner. So what do you have to lose? $50, you can have a chance to win $1,000 and get the body of your dreams. So scan the code now, sign up. We're here to help you.
Put it in. Let's keep it clean. Yeah. Put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. No, yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not on the streets. Just put it in the trash, my guy.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it, that's it. Put it in the trash. Just put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. That's it. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Not on the ground, not on the beach, not in the bush, not in the street. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. Just put it in the trash, my guy. Yeah. We just gotta keep Grand Bahama clean.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day,
we're just like you.
Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
I put my foolish pride aside in acknowledgement of your goodness. Everything is the Lord's in the earth in its fullness.
It's M-A-D-I-O Mario, and I'm inviting you to tune into Entertainment Fridays on the Bahamas Tonight. Access now at 7:30 p.m. You miss it, you diss it.
To fall, but was caught before I fell. Was so hard-headed, too stubborn to ask for help.
That's the Bahamas Tonight. Access now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
A lot of our young men and women, they look forward to being around the game of basketball so much because A lot of their community is infested with crime and violence. It's always been a passion of mine to make sure I channel these young men and women in the right direction through sports. Basketball and being in this environment is a safe haven for them in terms of what they need to do to get out. You have leadership conference to help these young men and women to understand the importance of making the right choice. I tell all of my athletes, when you go to school, help yourself. Stay focused. Use basketball. Don't let basketball use you. I love the game. The game has been good to me, and I just want to give back to the young people who have opportunity so the game can be good to them. Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, we have a commitment from the Minister of Education as schools get ready for reopening. Plus, finishing touches on the final resting place of 2 of the 5 teams killed in last month's car crash. And a family left to navigate loss following a beach tragedy here in the capital. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. The race to get schools ready for the new academic year is entering the home stretch. Today, education officials provided an update on their progress. Our Leah Cooper has the details.
As the new school year fast approaches, the race is on to make sure classrooms are ready, repairs are complete, and students can walk through the gates without missing a beat. With the first day of school set for August 31st, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable Chester Cooper, led a tour of 3 schools in the capital Thursday, saying the ministry remains locked in on meeting that deadline. The first stop, Bailey High School, where students are poised to score a major win off the field. The school is set to receive a brand new gymnasium, thanks to a partnership with the Fox Foundation.
The students who are here and the ones who will come through here can have that facilities to improve their gym skills in the area of sports.
The minister welcomed the announcement, saying the partnership is still in its early stages, but the foundation has already answered the ministry's call for greater private sector support in public education.
This partnership fundamentally will look like the Ministry of Education providing the land, Fox Foundation building the gym. During my budget presentation, I called for partners for education. The harvest is plenteous, and we need the public to engage. We need alums of our public school system to get involved, and we are delighted that Mr. Fox and the Fox Foundation and Adriana Fox have stepped up to the plate.
The tour then moved to Naomi Blatch Preschool, where officials inspected progress on roof repairs along with minor air conditioning and electrical work. Despite the outstanding items, the minister says the school will be ready to welcome students when classes resume. The final stop, Government High School, where a brand new swimming pool is beginning to take shape.
We are 35% of our weight right now. By next week this time, we should be 70%. The following week, we should be 90%. Week after that, doing punch lists. Right now, we tiling. We have an MDF room. We have to move all the MDF system from one room to the next room, build another room. That should be completed Saturday, because we don't want to shed on the school while, it's all them weekends. So we'll complete that on Saturday. We're doing some painting. We're hanging some doors, and so on and so forth.
Education officials say when the school bell rings, every campus will be ready to answer the call. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, school readiness not the only assurance we're getting from the education minister. The same to be said about negotiations with the Bahamas Union of Teachers. The update comes a day after BUT President Belinda Wilson told the media in a voice note that the government abandoned negotiations. She also at the time urged teachers across the country to remain alert to further instructions for a possible next move. Both parties are at the table for a new industrial agreement, negotiating a salary increase, among other things.
The government continues to be at the table. We have a negotiation team led by Bernard Evans and Reverend Father James Palacios.
They're talking directly with the union president and her team of negotiators. I don't make it a habit of negotiating in the press, and therefore I don't have any discussion on any of the details. We look forward to a briefing in the coming days from our negotiating team, and we are hopeful that before long we're able to put that negotiation behind us.
In other news tonight, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis isn't losing much sleep over Fitch Ratings' latest forecast, which projects a $64 million deficit. That's a sharp contrast to the $223.1 million surplus outlined in the 2026-2027 budget tabled by Finance Minister the Honourable Michael Alkitis back in May. The Prime Minister appears to be taking the numbers in stride, suggesting that while the rating agency may be looking through one lens, his administration remains focused on the bigger economic picture.
That's their prediction. We are satisfied that we'll be able to meet our target. You just look at some of the prognostication given or forecast given by these institutions and see what we've been able to achieve over the last 4 years. You'll see we've always done better than they have predicted. And we intend to do it again this time.
All senior members of the uniformed branches turning out today for a professional development seminar at the National Training Agency. The one-day initiative put on by the Ministry of National Security aims to better prepare public servants for the challenges they may face in the workplace. And this amidst renewed calls from the public for police and other members of the armed forces to be better trained in handling people in crisis while avoiding unnecessary force. Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of National Security, Cecilia Strawn, was among the presenters.
You must be ready to guide the workforce and set the pace for the new initiatives that are constantly being introduced. Indeed, we now have a brand new ministry called Innovation and National Development, which depicts the future that is opening up before you.
Strawn went on to issue this charge to senior leaders.
As supervisors and leaders, you will be tested daily to steer the course, be the example and guides to navigate this exciting new era of the public service. And it is new and different from when I started. It is totally different. I challenge you, therefore, to ensure that you yourselves develop a new mindset and vision for the Bahamas that is not business as usual.
And speaking of a new vision, surveillance and enforcement at the Immigration Department ramped up following a series of complaints about mistreatment and, in some instances, physical abuse. A statement from the department stresses that each complaint undergoes a thorough and impartial review with the help of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And that's to avoid doubt where mistreatment or public or physical abuse is confirmed or allegations are false, appropriate actions are taken. Immigration officials insist they will be relentless in taking a zero-tolerance approach in sending illegal migrants home once captured. The Department of Immigration maintains policies and practices are guided by the protection of Bahamian borders, respect of human dignity, and due process, adding that the department will continue to uphold the law while ensuring fair and objective investigation of complaints. While also making news tonight, the Ministry of Works is embarking on a number of steps intended to finally solve a long-standing problem for Pinewood residents. Cleopatra Murphy shares the details of this latest initiative.
It's a step to long-awaited relief for Pinewood Gardens residents who have for decades battled with flooding in their community. On Thursday, crews from the Ministry of Works began the Pinewood Gardens Drain Reevaluation Project, starting at the epicenter of the flood zone on Sapodilla Boulevard, blasting collected sediment from clogged drains to allow water to alleviate flooding during the rainy season. Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, says it's the low-hanging fruit as government now moves to also integrate the smart drainage system to alert when drains are full and clogged. He says the lift station designed for Sapodilla Boulevard that will pump water out of the area will also make a real impact.
The contractor has advised me that the lift stations should be here on island by end of August, but you'll see some work start within the third week in August because you have to see some drainage infrastructure with piping and some trenching and all of that. So we would anticipate 12 months after that we'd have all 3 lift stations installed here in Pinewood.
Stations will also be placed along Pigeon Plum and Jones Heights as part of the $2.6 million lift station project. Assistant Engineer Mario Smith believes the worst of Pinewood's flooding occurs in the Sapodilla Boulevard area, and the stations will help to mitigate against severe flooding, while he says 5 drainage wells exist along Sapodilla and 50 to 60 in the entire Pinewood community. The lift stations will be designed with a catchment area.
That area will capture all the rainfall that accumulates within a certain zone once that takes place. The lift station then would, once water reaches a certain level within that catchment, the lift station would activate and pump that water out and discharge it away from the area that is flooding to an area that can receive that rainfall.
LaCandis Brown of CaribTech Digital Solutions pointed out how the company designed the FlowSense system to monitor the depth of wells and locate them. So far, 1,500 have been located, and she anticipates mapping to be completed by the end of the year.
We've already cleared a few wells throughout New Providence, not just in Pinewood, but we've been in Stapleton. We've been in a couple of areas to ensure that we bring relief from flooding to the residents of those areas.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Coming up, we're live in Cat Island as residents prepare to honor the lives of 2 young people killed last month. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Long summer. Hot sun, people coming over, and nobody feeling like cooking. This summer, wait for the sign. Presenting KFC Summer Bucket, the official meal of the summer.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4, get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desks. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
Sun, sea, good friends.
And bold new flavor has arrived in the Bahamas. Introducing the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. Spicy jalapenos, cool ranch, fresh Wendy's beef, one perfect balance. This isn't a heat you run from, you enjoy it. Bring the heat. Keep the cool with Wendy's new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger.
Isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? Ah, you haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
During a storm, your safety is priority number 1. Stay indoors and away from windows and avoid going outside. Keep a flashlight handy and tune in to all official updates. Never use candles. They are a fire risk. Stay calm, stay connected, stay safe.
Marco's Pizza. Marco's Pizza. Some never tasted so good. Marco's
summer party is bringing the fun. Choose 2 large one-topping pizzas with a 2-liter soda for just $34.95. Or grab a big square deal, 1 medium, 1-topping pizzas with boneless wings for just $39.95. Enter to win weekly Baja Bay water passes and your very own Marco's Summer Party Pack all summer long. Marco's Pizza, summer never tasted so good.
This portion of the news is brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. RBC has just the right loan you need with affordable financing.
You're looking at a shot there of boats in Nassau Harbor. The body of water has evolved into a bustling cruise and commercial hub. Well, welcome back. Loved ones of those 5 teens killed in that devastating Shirley Street crash are starting the daunting task of saying final goodbyes. Funeral services will be held on Cat Island, where 2 of those victims called home, and where an already close-knit community is again leaning on each other through faith, strength, and understanding. Our Corval Byfram joins us from Smith's Bay, Cat Island.
Makushla, there is, of course, a bounty of beauty here on Cat Island, but all of that, of course, has been recently overshadowed by such sadness that you really feel just every part of this island. In fact, you can feel it all across the country. We are talking, of course, about that unfortunate incident that occurred on the morning of Sunday, June 28th. That is when 5 teenagers would eventually lost their lives in a fatal car crash. Well, preparations for the final goodbyes for 2 of those victims, 2 Cat Islanders, Diamond Stubbs, as well as Stania Webb. Their funerals are set to take place this coming Saturday. We are here to bring as many of the stories about these young women and their families to you. This is an island, of course, that is in deep mourning, but there's also active work being done in preparation of their final goodbyes. With me, the artist that is putting together what will be their final resting places here at Smith's Bay at the cemetery. Anderson, talk to me about, coming a bit closer to me and talk to us about what it means to be doing this.
It means a lot to the whole, I guess, the world, Bahamas and Cat Island, to be doing this. And this, man, this touched the whole island, and it has touched me. So this is my labor of love, you know, my gift to both families.
You were telling me before we got started about what it felt like to be asked by the families to do this.
Yeah, when they asked me to do this, man, this image came to me, and it came from my heart. So, you know.
I'll tell you, coming in today, we really, on the plane ride, and as we watched people embrace each other at the airport, it really meant a lot. You get the sense of you know, the great feeling of loss that this island is experiencing.
Yes, you do, man. It's everyone. You know, everyone we meet on a daily basis. Everyone is still talking about it, you know. We're dealing with it. We're coping with it, and we're trying our best. Everyone like to ease the pain of the families.
If there is a silver lining to any of this, Makushla, it is that these 2 young women will have indeed a beautiful final resting place. Reporting from Smith's Bay, Cat Island, I'm Corval Byfram. Back to you in studio.
Well, thanks, Corval. Meantime, Works Minister the Honourable Clay Sweeting is tonight denying the ministry's involvement in removing a memorial that family and friends erected to commemorate the lives of the 5 teenagers who died in that horrific crash along Shirley Street on June 28th. 3 females died on the scene, with a third succumbing shortly after in hospital. A male died days later. The makeshift memorial had been placed in front of the Church Street Plaza, the site of the fatal crash. Its removal left family members upset that they were not notified.
The ministry doesn't, you know, we don't get involved in any of that. So the ministry wasn't changing to move anything, especially a memorial site like that. We're not aware of anyone moving and it's private property as well. So the ministry wouldn't go and move anything off of someone's private property like that.
Meantime, a fishing trip ends tragically for an Eleuthera man and a sister hard hit by the loss of someone she says was far more of a father figure than an older brother. Cleopatra Murphy tells us more in this next report.
The sister of a man who police believe drowned Thursday morning wailed uncontrollably, having to be held up by police and family as the reality hit that she had lost another brother. Just after 1 p.m., the body of the deceased, identified as 52-year-old Mark Cartwright, was wheeled away by morticians, while McCartney and her family mourned the loss of a family man, a husband and a father of one, who had landed in the capital just 2 to 3 weeks ago to work.
He has left school at age 14 to help my mother, working as a 14-year-old teenager and refusing to go back to school just so he can help her to take care of us. So he's just been more than a big brother. His father figure for me from all my life. Trust me when I said a brother that loves his young siblings, he would do anything for us. It's nothing that we couldn't have that he wouldn't go out there and work for.
Cartwright's body was recovered from a boat on Montague Beach, where Police Communications Unit Inspector Gerard Culmer confirms he and another man left Potter's Key Dock around 7 a.m. to dive for conch, some 5 miles off New Providence. Around 10:30, Inspector Culmer says Cartwright experienced difficulty breathing as he emerged from the water.
The other male tried to make attempts to bring him on board. However, he wasn't able to do it by himself. Luckily, some passing boaters was able to assist this male. As a result, they came to the dock around 11:50, shortly before 12 noon, where they were able to contact police control room. EMS came on scene and pronounced the male deceased.
Struggling to come to grips with his death, Cartwright's sister insists the pain hits harder because her other sibling's death is still fresh.
About 2 years, going on 3, we just lost the younger brother and now him. And it's so sad that 2 of them came to Nassau to do the same thing, to work, and now their boat passed away at sea. Only thing I can say is I lost another brother, but God is the master of all things. I cannot question him. I only can understand what he's doing.
Following the incident, police are urging the public to always have a boating plan and to know CPR if you're boating, because anything can happen. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Thanks, Cleo. Meantime, what led to an electronically monitored young man's death is now the focus of a full-scale investigation on Exuma. So far, here's what we know. Police say it was just after 3:30 Tuesday afternoon that they were alerted that the individual was in distress. However, initial efforts to find the man in the Baritari community were unsuccessful. Officers followed up the next day with the help of drones, the canine support services, as well as the electronic monitoring unit. They eventually found the man on the northern side of Queens Highway, Baritari, bare feet, fully clothed, unresponsive, and with visible signs of suspected blood around the ear and nose, along with minor abrasions to his hands and legs. A doctor pronounced him dead. An autopsy will determine his exact cause of death. Well, so far, there have been no reported cases of cyclospora here in country, and local officials are determined to keep it just that way. In fact, the Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority is said to be closely monitoring the parasite, which has reportedly affected more than 1,600 people in 34 states, while thousands of additional cases remain under investigation. The agency says the investigation continues to focus on shredded iceberg letters linked to a supplier in central Mexico. Anyone who recently traveled to the affected states and consumed the product, or who develops symptoms such as watery diarrhea, nausea, cramping, or fatigue, is advised to seek medical attention.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Your countertops are one of the hottest working surfaces in your home. And with a little care, they can stay looking beautiful for years. A simple daily wipe down using a soft cloth and mild soap is usually all you need. Avoid harsh chemicals and abrasive scrubbers, as they can dull or damage the finish over time. It's also a good idea to use cotton buds and trivets whenever possible to help protect the surface from scratches and excessive heat. Quality products deserve quality care. Connaught, Bahamas.
At BOB, we take pride in our business banking.
I've been banking with Bank of the Bahamas for about 10 years and recently have applied for a commercial loan with Bank of the Bahamas. We like the fact that it's a Bahamian company. They give you personalized service. They return your phone calls. It's just a pleasure to do business with them. They helped our company facilitate the loans we needed to grow our business. I can recommend Bank of the Bahamas to other businesses simply because the service is outstanding.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Well, celebrations marking the country's 53rd independence will reign throughout the Foxville community tonight during its annual Independence flag raising ceremony at the community center. Desmond Saunders is there and joins us live with this preview. Desmond?
An historic moment in Foxville as several families in the Foxville community being presented with clear title to land they have called home for years. I have joining me on the broadcast this evening, Member of Parliament for Foxville. What does this mean for families? And talk about the government's push to provide land ownership to Bahamians.
Well, you need to have good title to land in order for it to be an economic proposition and investment for you. And in so many cases, people have been living on properties. It's called colloquially generation land. And the idea is to clear that all up and give people an opportunity now to actually have a clear title. The Minister of Housing was kind enough to accommodate that by public acquisition and then conveying the land back with a clear title. All stamped now and recorded. Right. We'd given the copies of the unstamped documents a couple of months ago before the general election, and now the documents are stamped and recorded. So it's theirs now, free and clear.
Very quickly, this is also a flag raising ceremony. Talk about the events that will unfold here this evening.
Well, what happens is in 2006, I believe it was, 2005, Winston Saunders was then the chair of the Independence Committee. And they sent out a note to all communities across the country that every community should try and celebrate independence in their own special way. So we started with this flag raising, and we've continued it, and that's what we're doing tonight. And it's done by the 12th Bahamas Scouts group, which is I think they're probably the most active scout group in the country at the moment now.
Member of Parliament for Foxville, Mr. Fred Mitchell, joining us on our broadcast. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, thanks, Desmond. We're now going to toss it over to Royston and Marlena to check on in terms of what's coming up in Access Now tonight. Guys?
She did it again.
She did it again.
She did it again.
I did.
You can tell you miss Royston very badly. That's all.
Please.
It's cool.
I'll send that one to him, too.
Swanee, I'm begging you not to hold this against me. I'm going to do better. I promise you.
All right, then. I got you next time. You got me next time.
Well, Makrishna, tonight on the show, we've got a little bit of national pride still coming through. Obviously, it's still July, so we're still highlighting a lot of just what makes the Bahamas so great.
And there's everything that makes the Bahamas so great. Sun, sea, culture, sports, but in particular, we're going to catch up with our Maya Moss, and she's getting the visitor's perspective on what makes the Bahamas so special.
And speaking of that national pride, trying to get everyone to understand why we are the best and the brightest, we've got a teen pageant girl going off, trying to take that crown home, representing us. See, we're all getting tongue-tied tonight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know if I want to talk anymore, but stay with us to Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Hydrocolonic helped me with my acne. I did 3 consecutive sessions, and as a result, I have better gut health and clearer skin. Even after doing my sessions, I still follow up with at least 1 colonic session a month. If you're struggling with acne, I would definitely say give Hydrocolonic a try. We're having a special. Get 3 colonic sessions at a price of $300. We're located in East Winton area and also in the One West Medical. Give us a WhatsApp at 818-7586 and I'll send you our website link, or you could just visit us at CocoPlumWellnessBahamas.com. The link is also in our bio.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Dozens of college administrators from throughout the Caribbean region gathered at the Breezes Resort to mark the 23rd Annual Conference of the Association of Caribbean Higher Education Administrators. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, delivered an inspiring keynote address.
Excellence today must include innovation, accessibility, flexibility, and global relevance. Regional collaboration enables us to accomplish together what none of us could accomplish alone. So as Minister of Education, I see tremendous opportunities for deeper regional cooperation in digital education, in research, in quality assurance, in faculty development, in cybersecurity, in artificial intelligence, in innovation and student mobility.
The conference coincided with the association's 25th anniversary.
John Ake is 25 years old. And for those who are familiar with ACIA, it's not an easy feat. It wasn't. And as I proudly tell persons, when COVID shut down the world, ACIA was still going on. What an august institution, what a resilient institution, what a gem amongst Caribbean higher education administrators, and it is all because of you.
For Ed Talk, I'm Jonalee McIntosh. For instant updates, be sure to follow the ministry's WhatsApp channel by scanning the QR code or follow any of our social media pages.
Tonight, Access Now starts now.
Happy Friday, Junior. You're watching Access Now. I'm Marlena Leonard.
And I'm Swanson Gibson, Jr. Thanks for joining us for a look at your light and lighthearted news tonight.
That's right. Kicking us off, we'll jump straight to weather with Diane Dorset, who says a tropical wave, scattered showers, and some stray storms are headed our way. Diane?
So we already know the obvious, what's become the norm now. We're dealing with hot and humid conditions. But tonight, there's a high chance we'll get some rain. A tropical wave is headed our way and is now in the southeast Bahamas and moving into the central. It's making its way westward towards the northwest Bahamas tonight. So we'll get some scattered showers. And then by next week, a more stormy pattern is developing. A deeper tropical moisture moves over South Florida. Sunday will be the transitional day from stray storms to heavier showers as that moisture of frontal boundaries stalls, keeping those clouds, rain, just unsettled weather in the northwest Bahamas. Now, I know some may welcome the chance for showers, but there is always a risk of flooding after heavy downpour, so let's keep that in mind. Now, for the central and southeast Bahamas, things will clear up by the weekend. While no heat advisory is currently in effect, it will still feel uncomfortable during the afternoon, especially for anyone spending extended time outdoors. So you know what you have to do, drink your water. Finally, tracking the tropics, Tropical Storm Bertha made its second landfall in Texas today. It will gradually dissipate as it moves, but elsewhere in the tropics, there is no tropical cyclone development expected over the next 7 days. Now looking at our 3-day boating forecast, In the northwest Bahamas tonight, we're going to get northeast to east winds moving at 12 to 18 knots. That's as that tropical wave moves towards us. Seas at 3 to 6 feet and the low tide at 10:53 this evening. In the central and southeast Bahamas, east to southeast winds moving at 12 to 18 knots with seas at 3 to 6 feet and the small craft caution still in place. Then on Friday in the northwest Bahamas, we're going to get southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. A low tide at 10:38 in the morning, followed by a high tide of 5:14 that afternoon. In the central and southeast Bahamas on Friday, southeast winds moving at 12 to 18 knots, seas at 3 to 6 feet. That caution is once again in place. Now, finally, in the northwest and central Bahamas, on Saturday, we'll get southeast winds dropping now to 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. A low tide at 11:29 in the morning, followed by a high tide at 6:04 that afternoon. And in the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds moving at 12 to 18 knots, seas at 3 to 6 feet, with that caution still in place. It is time now for your international temperatures, which are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Out there on the dock, they're doing what we call Bahama rock. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, yeah. Bahama rock. Early in the morning till late at night, everybody's happy, no one's uptight. Early in the morning till late at night, everybody's happy.
Hey, that was your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance, and that wraps up your access for the forecast. Back to you at the desk.
Diane always trying to trip me up at the end of these reports, getting me to laugh. Oh, but that rain, I would welcome that rain, and you sleep so much better when it's raining outside.
I just was going to say, after a week, it makes it easy to relax.
It's been a rough week.
I get lost in my bed.
There you go. Well, we've got a lot coming up tonight. Miss Teen Mundial Bahamas is off to international competition. We caught up with Chloe Walters, who says she's ready to represent the 242 and bring home the crown.
Plus, teens in Andros get a summer lesson in fly fishing. We'll show you who's casting their lines next.
And psychologist Dr. Wayne Thompson takes us inside his new book, The Two Selves, True versus Pseudo, a powerful and accessible framework for understanding internal conflict.
And in sports, tonight the Islanders baseball team shines in Texas.
But up next, we hit the streets to see exactly what makes the Bahamas the destination of choice year after year. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Access Now. Stay with us.
Car insurance, home insurance, marine insurance, this insurance, that insurance. The truth is, you may not like it very much, but you need insurance, and it has to work for you. That's why Summit insurance policies are designed with you and your life in mind, fitting your lifestyle and needs perfectly. So you can rest comfortably knowing that your car, home, boat, and business are well taken care of. Contact our agents at Insurance Management today. Summit Insurance. We peak above all others.
As July turns to August, smart shoppers turn to Super Value and Quality Supermarkets for specials like Best Value Whole Kernel Corn, 15 ounces, 99 cents. Jacquard Vegetable Cooking Oil, 40 ounces, $4.49. Boneless strip or ribeye steaks, $7.99 per pound. Turkey wings, $2.99 per pound. Sweet peaches or nectarines, $2.69 per pound. Forget the GPS, drop the compass, and turn off the maps. If you're looking to shop and save, you're looking for Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
This portion of the news is brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Your idea of getting there happens with RBC.
Welcome back. Over the years, the Bahamas has enjoyed record-breaking tourist arrivals, won awards for its sun, sand, and sea, and for decades has been lauded as the place to visit. From blockbuster films to Grammy-worthy music videos, the Bahamas as a destination is simply iconic. Our Maya Brister reports.
What makes a visit to the Bahamas memorable? Is it the turquoise waters, warm hospitality, vibrant culture, or our food? As the Bahamas continues to be a destination choice for travelers, tonight we ask a very important question. What keeps visitors coming back? We asked Janet and Dan Chippy. They're visiting from Cambridge, New York, with friends who surprised them with a gift they won't soon forget: a cruise to the Bahamas.
Come down with friends who asked us to join them. I used to have their twins on my school bus, and they graduated and asked us if we wanted to join them for their graduation cruise. I'm very honored that they thought that much of their bus driver. So I'm happy about that. I really am.
For 16-year-olds Sophia and Finley, their summer vacation so far has been nothing short of unforgettable. In fact, the pair says they've enjoyed every moment so much they don't want to leave.
I like it. There's a lot of shops, like the heat's good, like I'm getting tan. Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm just loving the vibes of like everywhere. It's colorful, it's beautiful. It's just nice to be here. I kind of don't want to go back on the ship for 2 days.
The Bahamas welcomed a record-breaking 12.5 million visitors last year, and as tourists continue to create lasting memories across these 700 isles and keys, many say it's not just the award-winning iconic scenery that keeps them coming back. It's creating memories in a new place that simply feels like home. For the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, I'm Amaya Brister.
My name is Susan Griffin Hanna, and this is our business, Highway Service Station. So we've been here for more than 55 years. This was started by my father in the 50s. I'm very satisfied with the connection and service of the new BTC Air system. We've been installed for a little bit more than a month now, and we're very happy with the speeds of the new BTC Air. This is much faster, it's working better, and if we've had any problems, the techs have responded in a timely manner. We have our point-of-sale system that's attached to it, so we use it for that. We use the phone service, and we use it for the internet as well. I would recommend the service, especially if you have a business. Yes, it would.
This is the ride on the weekend with my grandma to this place, Burger King Nassau, where Grandma enjoyed her favorite flame grilled Whopper with fresh veggies, flame grilled beef just the way she likes it. And then I enjoyed my cheeseburger kids meal with a special treat.
And now, all grown up, I get to enjoy Burger King with these people, my friends, enjoying the same classic flame grilled Whopper. Let's just say, we know flame grilled tastes better.
Tasha, what you saying? Girl, right here, rushing to cash, Jazz Johnson. I gotta renew my insurance. Oh, I would
JSJ too, but I don't wait in line. I just pay online. Stop it. How you do that? Just email info@jsjohnson.com and say, sign me up for the online service center. They'll reach out and hook you up. You ain't never got to stand in line again. Amen to that. Save time. Pay online. Sign up for J.S. Johnson's online service center today.
Insurance, peace of mind.
Hurricane season is here, and everything your house needs is at We Buy You Sell. Impact windows and doors built with strong frames and reinforced glass to hold if a storm hits. 10 and 16 millimeter galvanized steel are now available. Roofing materials with architectural and asphalt shingles, roof flashing, nails, and so much more, all right here. Solar lights are 50% off while supplies last, and solar power systems are available for pre-order. Stay safe this storm season by visiting us on Robinson Road or WhatsApp 636-8412.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Welcome back. You're watching Access Now. We often don't realize how the little things we do for the first time might end up having a much larger impact. For example, today in 1829, William Austin Burt patented the typographer, which would become a precursor for the typewriter, which you could say helped bring us modern keyboards we use every day.
Also today in 1903, a Ford Motor Company sold their very first car to a dentist from Chicago. Little did that dentist know he was actually saving the company, who only had $223 left in their bank account prior to the sale.
That's right, and not only did it save the company, it would end up impacting the way people throughout the world think about transportation forever. So if there's a dream you're working on and the progress seems small, don't let it discourage you. Your little win might be the beginning of something that changes the world for the better. And speaking of hopes for a win, that brings us to our next story. Miss Teen Mundial Bahamas Chloe Walters is in El Salvador representing the Bahamas on the international stage. When she left last week, she not only packed her outfit changes and crown, but she's also carrying the pride and support of the entire country with her.
These girls have been competing for years, and pageantry in the Bahamas is so different from pageantry in the Spanish-speaking countries. We have basically 5 outfit changes per day, maybe 5 different hairstyles, so I'm expected to show up and show out at every one of those. I know that I'll do a really good job because I've been practicing and training for a really long time. Walter?
Representing your country on an international stage can be scary, but Walters says Bahamians have given her the confidence she needs, even though some still don't believe in pageantry.
To be completely honest, it doesn't feel like a lot of pressure because I've had so many Bahamians come together to assist me, which has been comforting for me because it's beautiful to see all of the people from our Bahama land come together to make sure I have the right hair products, the right outfits, the right assistants, just so I can be in a positive mindset and fully prepared to represent our Bahama land. Honestly, people wouldn't know until they actually do it. I myself felt that way about people that do pageants, but now that I do it, it's really a service to our Bahamians and to our Bahama land.
Summer campers in Andros learn all about fly fishing as the country seeks to invest more in the growing industry. Our Charles Fisher has the story.
Having been blessed with the largest fishing flats in the world in terms of bonefish population, it's very easy to see why thousands flock to our country each year to cast their lines. Summer months on campus in Andros are now learning the benefits of the industry. 17-year-old and 16-year-old Chelsea and Jalen Smith among the youngsters with their lines in the water.
It's been a great experience so far. I've got to learn a lot about bone fishing and then also just about the fisheries industry in general, about our marine tourism and all the opportunities that are out there. I think Mr. Prescott Smith spoke a lot about how there's so many hidden opportunities, or like a lot of Bahamians don't know what's out there and don't know how much money and things they can be doing with these important skills that's bone fishing and just touring and understanding more about the Bahamas. So it's been great so far.
This camp is really informative. I learned a lot about fishing and a lot about the culture that I had never known about and that I'd probably never know about because, like, it's very hard to get exposed to this information like this. Learning about the kind of job opportunities that's available and like what you could really do and what we're missing out on as Bahamians, because like there's a lot of opportunities for us that we could capitalize on, but we're not all informed about it. So I think this camp is really good.
Professional guide Prescott Smith is one of the instructors.
They are very enthusiastic. You know, we have children here from Nassau and from different parts as well, so it's not just Andros. And what I like about this is you have children who are from some of the top schools who are now looking at different career paths. So we're breaking that stereotype that fishing is for the less educated, whereas it's just the opposite. We need to attract the brightest to this field so that you can build an industry, because that's the true potential of it.
The camp being held in conjunction with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the Minister, Honorable Mario Boleg, well, he tried his hand.
This is not only a sport, but it's also something that can be a livelihood. And I think, I know there was an arc pass under V. Alfred Gray sometime that I want to revisit along with my colleagues from tourism, agriculture, and environmental health, and see how best we can empower the islanders, you know, those who are partake in bone fishing, because this is one of the largest economic impact also to these family islands. But are the Bahamians benefiting from it? Those who are the experts in it is the question we must ask. And so this is something I want to look into and do what we can to make sure we continue empowering the Bahamian people.
For Access Now,
Thanks so much, Fisher. Well, a new book by psychologist Dr. Wayne Thompson is exploring the internal battles we face as humans and how to overcome them. In The Two Selves, True versus Pseudo, Dr. Thompson explores the divide between emotional regulation and internal stability. Our intern, Judah Serville, reports.
As individuals maneuver through life and relationships, Dr. Wayne Thompson, a psychologist specializing in relationships and human development, says it's common for individuals to feel at odds with themselves. That's the focus of his new book, entitled The Two Selves, which explores this inner conflict. Dr. Thompson sat down with ZNS News to talk more in depth about his new book.
The pseudo-self is the insecure, the timid, I don't know, the lack of belief. This is not a good building block for the life of work and relationships. You're constantly suspicious. So these individuals constantly worry about things, fret about things, feel that things are going to be taken away from them. They never find nirvana, the place of peace. To find that, you have to move from the pseudo to the true self.
This pseudo-self, as Dr. Thompson describes it, often comes into being in the early stages of human development. He says that negative talk and experiences can affect young children deeply, creating an environment in which the pseudo-self can more easily manifest.
Many persons put on this mask, and if you're not careful, this mask can assimilate into you and become your reality, which then becomes deeply disruptive throughout your life. And this is why seeking professional intervention can transform a person's life and cause him or her to reach their fullest potential and become a blessing to nation, to country, to God.
Dr. Thompson hopes that his new book may help people to identify the ways in which they perpetuate their insecurities and encourage them to take the first steps toward inner tranquility.
We will be at Logos Bookstore this coming Saturday, July 25th, from 11 to 2 to autograph every book that we purchase. I want to challenge us. Let's read to succeed. Knowledge is power.
Indeed it is. Well, that was our intern, Judah Serville, reporting. Thanks, Judah. Stay with us. You're watching Access Now.
Bahamas. Hurricane season is here. Are you ready? The 2026 Atlantic hurricane season officially runs from June 1st through November 30th. 6 months of staying alert and prepared. Storms are named to help meteorologists, emergency officials, and the public communicate clearly and quickly during dangerous weather events. Hurricanes are also measured using the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale, which ranks storms from categories 1 through 5 based on wind speed and potential damage. And did you know, when a hurricane becomes especially deadly or destructive, its name is permanently retired out of respect for the lives and communities affected. Now is the time to prepare your emergency kit with a portable AM/FM radio. Review your family plans and stay connected to trusted weather information. Preparation today can save lives tomorrow. These are the names of the storms for the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Edward, Faye, Gonzalo, Hannah, Isaias, Josephine, Kyle, Leah, Marco, Nana, Omar, Paulette, Renee, Sally, Teddy, Vicky, and Wilfred. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Disaster Risk Management Authority.
You're looking at a shot of Arawak Key at sunset.
And coming up next in sports, Kenon Bastion was selected to play in the Perfect Game All-American Classic.
Welcome to your Thursday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports over on the diamond. A Bahamian baseball prospect turning heads in the States due to his recent play, in the process being invited to one of the biggest baseball showcases in the U.S. Our Swanson Gibson Jr. has that story.
Rising Bahamian baseball star Kenon Bastion has been making a name for himself over in the United States. The 17-year-old outfielder was recently selected to play in the Perfect Game All-American Classic, being one of 60 top-ranked high school baseball players in the U.S.
We are honored, a blessing to be selected to the PGO American Game, and it's just something that you see when you're younger, all the older kids doing, and it's something you want to do, so it's a blessing. We say it's a good test to see where I line up against the best competition, but anywhere I go, I feel like I'm the best, and I don't have to show that in a cocky or, arrogant way, but I say that humbly.
Bastion currently attends the First Academy in Orlando, Florida, coming off his junior campaign. This past season, he picked up 30 hits, 7 homers, and 17 runs batted in to go with a .309 batting average. The high school standout reflected on his time at the institution.
I've been going there since 6th grade, and it's just been a great experience. I mean, I get to learn about Christian God, so I'm learning a lot while I'm playing the best competition in Florida for baseball, so it's a win-win and it's a great opportunity for me.
This past October, Bastion committed to the University of Florida, bringing his skills to the Division I level. He discussed the factors that influenced his decision.
So they win a lot, and then just the ability to be close to home. My parents can always come and see me whenever I have a game or practice, whatever it is. I can be close to home, and it's just a great experience for me.
Bastion joining the Florida Gators baseball program in the fall of 2027. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
Swanson still on the diamond, a Bahamian travel ball team also impressing over in the U.S. and simultaneously becoming fan favorites. Stepping up to the plate to tell that story is our Charles Fisher.
14-member team really carried the Bahamian colors well at the 8U NCS World Series in Corpus Christi, Texas. For majority of the players, it was their first time playing against international competition, and for coach Trey Sweeting.
I was happy for the experience and to take the boys. The first couple of games out of the gate weren't so hot, even though we were a really good team, but that was what the trip was for, so they could get international experiences and get over all those fears they had. Once that happened, the team took right off. They did very well. Overall, we ended up winning our bracket at the tournament, so they fared pretty well. After that second loss, we kind of went on a winning streak. Every game after that, we win.
As reading indicated, the boys were the darlings of the tournament, also appearing on a local television station.
It was amazing. So we went down to the Islanders campus, Division I school out in Corpus Christi. They took us in with open arms. They were excited. I used to play Division I, so they talked to me a little bit about that as well. We're excited for the boys to come on campus. The boys loved it. They got their own lockers. They got their own jerseys and shirts. Definitely an experience you can't really pay for, so that was amazing.
It was definitely a learning experience for the players and the coach.
I had some boys from Abaco. I had some boys from downtown home in Nassau. It was amazing working with them. Like I said, game one was a little tricky. Some stuff I don't think we really understood it, but it was amazing watching these boys grow from game one to our final championship game. It was a totally different team. I love that. I love this game. I watched the boys go from not understanding too much to playing the game pretty like professionals at that age. And one thing I loved the most about the trip, when someone made a play, the rest of the team got hyped. I had a video of this one kid catching a line drive, and the right fielder was the highlight of the video. Like, he was so amazed. You couldn't tell me we didn't just win a World Series.
As a result of their showing, the NCS organizers, they have invited the Bahamas to another tournament later on this year. Great news. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
And over at the National Beach Soccer Stadium, the BFA's beach soccer tournament underway, we caught up with an organizer and player who had this to say.
So far, it's pretty good. I think the competition is going very, very well. A lot of the national team players have came back home to compete in the tournament, and they're drastically raising the level. The new players, some of those who are not really acquainted with beach, are learning very quickly, which goes to show that they're sharing information well, and the league overall for women and men is doing very, very good.
Recently, like this summer, this year, getting into beach soccer, but this tournament, this is my first time playing in this, and I really love it. It's been going great so far.
And that's been a look at your sports on this Thursday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Congratulations to the class of 2026 valedictorian and salutatorian. Your hard work, dedication, and perseverance have earned you this outstanding achievement. As you begin this exciting new chapter, may your future be filled with continued success and limitless opportunities. Our sponsors salute academic excellence and proudly join in celebrating your remarkable achievement.
As always, congratulations again to those graduates. Well, that does it for Access Now.
Stay tuned for the rundown with Ahmad Rashad. Gotta get this in.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Way off. Oh. Come on, man.
Oh, my God.
I put my foolish pride aside in acknowledgement of your goodness. Everything is the Lord's in the earth in its fullness.
It's M-A-D-I-O Mario, and I'm inviting you to tune into Entertainment Fridays on the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now at 7:30 p.m. You miss it, you diss it.
To fall, but was caught before I fell. Was so hard-headed, too stubborn, I asked for help.
That's the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
The Hidden Disabilities Sunflower is a globally recognized symbol for persons with invisible disabilities.
The Sunflower lanyard made our journey less stressful, smoother, and more inclusive.
REACH is proud to support the Hidden Sunflower Scheme, which makes the invisible visible. So far, the Nassau Airport Authority and the Nassau Cruise Port are Sunflower certified.
So if you see someone with a sunflower lanyard, always remember to be patient and ask if they need some help. Please be kind and always remember to show respect.
We wish to encourage more hotel operators with amenities such as water parks, restaurants, cinemas, government offices to join this initiative, making the Bahamas a more sunflower-friendly country.
Please feel free to reach out to the REACH office at 328-4123, or you can reach out to the National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities at 396-8700.
So you're planning to weather the storm at home. You've bypassed all the shelters, your preparation is complete, and so are your emergency kits. You're ready. But what happens if the storm changes direction and it's a direct hit? What's your evacuation plan? If you don't have one, make one. And remember, take into account the location of your house, whether it's near beaches, canals, or it sits in a flood-prone area, and be realistic about the evacuation plan. Plan what to take. In its simplest form, take only what you cannot afford to lose. Have a go bag ready and a discussion beforehand what bag contents should consist of, like toiletries, medication, change of clothing, and important documents in a waterproof folder. Take inventory of your home, pictures included. Make sure your vehicle has a full tank of gas. Decide your destination and the best route. If you can't get out, find safety in the highest level of your home. And as always, be sure to pay close attention to the ZNS network for weather updates. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS network.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, leaders from all generations, good evening and welcome to the Rundown on Leadership. I am your host, Ahmad Thompson, and I am honored, excited, and deeply grateful to be with you tonight. This is the show where you come to get recharge, to get your energy up, to get your perspective sharpened, to challenge your thinking, and to challenge your assumptions, and become the very best version of yourself. Our mission each week is simple, yet it has never mattered more than it does right now: to elevate the leadership conversation locally, regionally, and globally, and to prepare you to lead with greater clarity, purpose, and impact. As always, we begin with gratitude. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes, your offices, and your leadership journey week after week. You remind us that leadership is more than a title. It is responsibility, it's discipline, and most of all, it's a calling. And tonight we are taking that idea and putting it under the light, because we are asking a question that every leader will eventually have to answer for themselves. We know you could spend your Thursday evening anywhere, but you choose to run it down with us, and for that, we are truly grateful. So, let me ask you something. When you meet somebody for the first time, for the very first time, and they ask you who you are, what do you say? Most of us answer with a title. I'm the manager, I'm the director, I'm the principal, I'm the pastor, I'm the partner, I'm the president. We hand our positions like it's our name. And honestly, why wouldn't you? You worked for that title. You studied for it, you sacrificed for it, you waited for it for years. And somebody finally stood up and said, you are ready. And they handed it to you. It is one of the sweetest moments in a person's entire career. But here is the truth about every title you will ever hold in your life. Every single one of them is on loan. Think about it. The company restructures and the title goes away. The board takes a vote and the title goes. The term expires, the contract isn't renewed, the season ends. New management walks in with brand new spanking ideas. Somebody else's name goes on that door. Every title you've ever been given can be taken back because it was never yours in the first place. It was lent to you. And what is lent can always be recalled. And there is a moment, and if you've lived long enough and experienced enough, you already know the exact moment I'm talking about. It's the moment the loan comes due. It's quiet. That's that part nobody tells you about. There's no ceremony for it. It's a random day. You're cleaning out a desk that was never, ever really yours. The nameplate comes off, and it takes about 4 seconds for that room that you used to sit in to make decisions is somebody else's room now. And then there comes the strangest part of all. The phone that you hold so dear to you, it stops. The calls that used to come every hour, the people who used to need you for every Jesus thing, the invitations, the meetings, the noise of being important, all of it goes quiet. And in that silence, every leader who has ever lived eventually meets the same question, standing there waiting for them. Who am I now? Now here's what fascinates me. Two leaders can lose the exact same title on the exact same day, and what happens next could not be more different. One of them disappears. The title went, and it turns out that the title was all that ever was. The respect leaves with that position. The room empties out, and the phone stays quiet. But the other one? Somehow the phone keeps ringing. People keep calling for counsel. They keep showing up. They keep asking. They keep following. And not one of them is doing it because of a job description, because there's none anymore. They're following because of who that person is. Same loss, opposite outcome. So what on earth is the difference between those two leaders? I'll tell you what I think it is. One of them built a title, while the other one built influence. And leaders, I need you to hear me right now. Those are not the same thing. They have never been the same thing. You can hold the biggest title in the building and have no influence at all. And you can hold no title whatsoever and quietly be the most trusted voice in the entire organization. So that's our question tonight, and it's coming for every single one of us eventually. Who are you when the title is gone? Sit with that for a moment. My guest tonight has led in just about every arena a man can lead in, on the court, in the boardroom, in the community, and in service of this country. He has held titles, he has carried responsibility, and when we spoke about this conversation, he said something to me that I believe establishes the entire premise of our show tonight. He said, Ahmad, leadership is not about titles or position. Rather, it's about impact and influence. And tonight we find out what that really, really means. I am honored to run it down tonight with Mr. Shannon Don Cartwright, the Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement. Tonight's conversation is one every person in leadership who ever thought about it and who thought it was about them was called for. It's for the leader who holds onto that title for dear life. For the aspiring leader who believes it's all about what their email signature says instead of the impact they will make. Tonight we answer the question, who are you when the title is gone? This is the Rundown on Leadership, ladies and gentlemen, and your breakthrough is right after this break. Stay close.
At Frame Studio, as soon as you enter the door, we showcase any individual that comes in there and make it feel like they are at home. The space itself is 1,800 square foot. Our psych wall, which is industry standard also, is 24 feet wide. You can do anything that you can possibly think of. At Frame Studio, under our theme, Now Create More, we look at Frame Studio as a canvas. And any artist knows a canvas is blank, and then you create whatever you want to do, right? So we have where you could rent tools. We even have workstations that people could rent out. To anyone inspiring to do what I've done, or what my colleagues have done, or any other journey, I would say to you, don't be afraid. The worst someone can actually tell you is no. So if you have a vision, you have an idea, not everyone will get it. But if you believe in your vision, you believe in your idea, I say go wholeheartedly at it.
For more information about the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative and the Crafting the Bahamas workshops, email info@sbdcbahamas.com or call us at 461-7232.
into the program, Living by Faith with Bishop Valentino Williams of Life Changes Ministries International. Sundays at 5:30 p.m. on ZNS TV station. Prepare to be inspired, impacted, empowered, and transformed. Remember, the just shall live by faith.
This prophet here is not for sale. This prophet here come to declare what thus saith the Lord.
It's a joy, to help someone who is in need,
I'm proud to know that we are able to accommodate them with a hot meal, fresh meal, and a well-balanced meal.
A lot of our clients, as you know, from the inner city and persons who really include them so much at a loss. And for whatever reason, 2 months, 3 months, they really don't have anything.
You have to have some kind of kindness to do this.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, my guest tonight is Mr. Shannon Don Cartwright, and he has been a record-breaking athlete, a corporate executive with more than 2 decades of leadership at global companies, a justice of the peace, and a servant of his community. He represented the people of St. Barnabas in the House of Assembly, and today he serves as deputy leader of the Free National Movement. But tonight, we are not here to talk about any of those positions or those titles. We are here to talk about the man behind them, and what he has learned about the difference between a title and true influence. Please welcome to the Rundown on Leadership, Mr. Shannon Don Cartwright. Sir, welcome to the show.
Ahmad, it's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. It's good to have you, man.
And good night to the Bahamas.
Indeed, indeed. Let's get right to it, Mr. Cartwright. When you think about all that you've done, take us all the way back from the very beginning. Right. Did you envision this being a part of your trajectory in life? Where did you first get the sense that you had a calling to be in leadership?
Well, let me just say, first of all, that leadership is no doubt a spiritual concept in my view.
Yes, sir.
Right? The scripture in Matthew talks about the greatest among us shall be our servants. And so from a very early age, I'm grateful to my parents and all of the mentors that I would have had at a very, very early age who instilled in me a level of service, a level of being a part of the solution as opposed to being a part of the problem.
Yes, sir.
And so at a very, very early age, I was very fortunate to have had these relationships where people instilled in me a level of commitment to people, a commitment to country. And throughout my life, that is manifested in different ways, from primary school to high school to university, and of course, both in corporate Bahamas and in public life.
Indeed. You were an athlete, right? Not a casual one. You still hold records at Franklin Paris. So tell me, what lessons did the court teach you that the boardroom will never teach you?
The great thing about sports is that it really prepares you from a leadership standpoint. I was very fortunate to be the captain of the team in university. And one thing sports does, or game teaches you, it prepares you to deal with stressful situations, crisis, the ability to work with others, different personalities, different views, but there is one common goal. It's a fast-paced environment that allows you to come together in different moments of a particular game and to find out how do you adjust. What focus is needed to make this adjustment to get to the next level, to the next portion of the game, and ultimately to achieve that overall win.
You talk about the stressful moments and the ability to adjust. How come some leaders don't recognize when that ability is required of them? How come some people get lost in the stress? How does that happen, do you think?
Well, I think that, most of all, there are certain utilities that's associated with leadership. Humility, vulnerability, stability, capability. All of these things allows persons to operate at an optimum level in terms of leadership. Why do leaders, and no leader is perfect, why do leaders falter or make mistakes as we inevitably do? It's because that, you know, oftentimes as you go along, if you don't evolve in a particular situation, if you don't evolve during a crisis, if you don't evolve with your team, if you don't focus on what are the needs right now for this particular team, what are your needs right now in this moment? Have I adjusted to take into consideration new elements, new factors? And ultimately, you have to continue to tell yourself that it's not about you. It continues to be about people. Fundamentally about people and the overall goal. And so leadership evolves, and that's why leadership also continues to need mentorship, because leadership may be a pinnacle in a sense, but it still requires you to talk to other leaders and other mentors that you have, because it's continuous. Because as a leader, at times you do have to evolve and reinvent yourself for the good of the team.
Now, you mentioned something that's important, Shannon Dawn, if I may.
Sure.
You said that it's not about you.
Right.
And leaders need to be mindful of that. There was a time when I worked in corporate Bahamas, I was a banker. And I was interested, deeply interested and motivated by what my email signature would have. That opening monologue was really about me, right? What it would say to the bottom of my name and the email. I was concerned about that. I wanted that to be something that I could be proud of and be interested in and be boastful of, right? Later on in my career, one of my leaders said to me, I mentioned it often on this show, that my ambition was going to cost me. How have you been able to maintain that level of humility that's required and that so many leaders abandon when they arrive, when they reach? So many people get the title, they get the position, they get the job, and all of a sudden it's about them versus about who they've been called to serve. Where do you think the humility goes away? And what's the danger of losing that humility when you become that thing you've been aspiring toward?
Well, there is no doubt that for me, as I'm sure is the case for many, that faith plays an important part for me in my life and how I approach leadership. And the reason why I say that is because, as my mothers would often say, that the flesh will fail you.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And when you are in an environment where you have authority and oftentimes persons will defer to you as the leader, you need something to anchor you in terms of your humility and your perspective that says to you, this remains not about me, but the bigger picture and the whole. And so oftentimes, again, we talk about mentorship and the need for mentorship and what that allows you to do. Over the course of my life, I remind myself in every daily task and whatever leader positions that I've had, that what has been given to me and the ability to serve others and to lead others is a gift and it's an honor. And to remind myself of that, so that during those times when you may be getting a little ahead of yourself, or there may be persons around you who are helping you get ahead of yourself, because the truth is, everybody has different perspectives and different views on what you mean for them as a leader. And oftentimes, the people who may be around you, you even have to remind them that we are in this for this reason. And at the end of the day, you're living for something bigger than yourself. It has to be about the whole. And you have to remind yourself of that every single day.
Yes, sir. You mentioned that mentorship is important. Leadership, people who are in leadership must also look for and take value in mentorship. Who saw it in you first? Who in your early years, your formative years, saw something in Shannon Dawn and decided, I want to pour into him or encourage him to become what they saw in him?
You know, it's such a profound and great question, Ahmad. I think if I can pinpoint a time, you know, when you're young and you playing sports, or you're out there in the street playing bat and ball and whatever it is that you do.
Wow.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yes, sir.
At an early age, your friends don't necessarily know how to articulate it, but they see some things in you, right? They project some things in you, you know? We see you can be this one day or you can be this another day. But I got a sense at a very early age, because of my grounding from my parents and my friends, that there was a sense that people wanted to listen to me, that people wanted to be humbly around me. And I made a determination that with that level of influence, though I couldn't describe it that way at an early age, I could either use it for something positive or I could use it for something negative. And I just always made sure that this power, this gift, this blessing that God has given you to influence others must be used to enrich the lives of others, to change your country. Because ultimately, you will not be remembered for the distinctions before or after your name, as you talked about in your introduction. You will be remembered what you did to enrich the lives of others, and ultimately, what did you do to change your country?
It's important that you understand where Shannon is coming from. We are often indoctrinated, taught to run after, chase after the accolade, the accomplishment, the letters behind our names. But if you can't trace what you have done to the impact it had on somebody's life, if they can't say not necessarily because of you, but by way of you, right? Because of your leadership, because of how you sold into me, because of how you demonstrated what it meant to operate this gifting, I am better off than I was, then you've wasted your opportunity, in my opinion, right? Dr. Miles Monroe always talked about mismanaging the gifts that God had given us. And if you have that influence, if you have that power, if you will, if you recognize that ability in you to kind of galvanize and mobilize the people, you should be using that for the betterment of that circle, that sphere that you're influencing versus the betterment of yourself, right? Here's what I want to ask you. I really want you to sit with this question. When you look back, when you had no title, no position, no platform, nobody beyond those that saw something in you, recognized it, what did you think? How did you get people to follow you? How did you, even though you recognized that there was a level of influence here or there, being listened to, but then being followed is something separate, because people can hear you and still not move, right? How did you get people to realize, to get people to realize that you were someone worth following or at least paying attention to at that time, do you think?
I think at a young age, it may not be that quite intentional as it would be as you get older and you get intentional about how you lead, your impact on persons that follow you. But what I would say to answer that directly is that somewhere along the line that, you know, you have to say to yourself, okay, here's an opportunity that I have, that persons are listening to me, and what do I do to cultivate that relationship? I mentioned a few minutes ago about the utilities that I feel are associated with leadership. And one of those is being vulnerable.
Yes.
And when I say being vulnerable, allowing yourself to share with persons who is in your sphere of influence, because people follow people they can relate to.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's also another one of the utilities, which is relatability. So you have to make yourself vulnerable because people follow people like them. So you make yourself vulnerable. That adds to the credibility that you wish to have with your contemporaries and those, in this case, who would follow you. Because at the end of the day, your ability to connect with them, your ability to share with them allows the trust to be built. And that's important.
Absolutely.
Because you want that relationship to constantly be fortified, to fortify the trust part of it, so that at the end of the day, they allow themselves to be influenced by you. Because it's not control, it's influence.
Absolutely.
And influence is anchored by respect.
100%.
And that's important.
You said they allow themselves to be influenced by you. People sometimes assume that because they have the role, because they're the CEO, the president, the director, the manager, that I must be influenced by them. But your perspective is that people decide to allow themselves to follow, to be influenced by you. You mentioned something about relational or relatability. I always say in the show that leadership is relational before it can become operational. And the best example of that is Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
Jesus came to earth and he spent his first 30 years being reared, being influenced by someone, he allowed himself to be influenced by his mom, his dad, whomever else God allowed him to be around. And then he went into ministry. He came into office, if you will. And for 3 years, he spent time building relationship with absolute gangsters. Peter them was gangsters, sir. They wasn't polished. They didn't have it together. They was drinking and womanizing and gambling and all the things. But Jesus saw the potential in them. He saw what would be necessary to reach people once he was gone, because you couldn't be perfect trying to reach imperfect people. Right? So the goal wasn't to find someone who was without sin. The goal was to find somebody who could recognize the danger in sinning, find their way back to reconciliation, and understand that beyond this moment of time when I've been inflicted or done something out of the way, I can build a relationship to gain influence and then help somebody to allow themselves to influence, to be influenced by you. And I think that's an important lesson many leaders miss. They go straight to work. They go right to the task versus spending time building a relationship with their team members, the persons they've been privileged to lead. As we go to break, when you think of the biggest lesson you've learned so far to date, in about 60 seconds, or 30 seconds, I had the music playing, what would you say so far is the biggest lesson you've learned having been in leadership?
The biggest lesson I've learned is that some of the decisions that you have to make aren't necessarily decisions you're going to like.
Come on. Some of the decisions you have to make are not necessarily decisions you want to make. We encourage you to stay close. You can see this is just getting started, and it's only going to get better from here. Your breakthrough continues after the break. Stay close.
Bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Dum dum dong. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Dum dum dong. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong.
I want to show you what paradise on earth really looks like. Imagine this. It's a hot summer day. You've been tanning all day. You just want a place to cool down. This 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom villa sleeps up to 6 people with a fully equipped kitchen and living room. And if you're looking for relaxation, look no further. Now the food, the pool, and the drinks are nice, but summer's coming up. Summer's coming up, and you need to get that body in check. Here at the Paradise Island Beach Club, they have a fully equipped 24-hour gym, ensuring that summer body is in check.
We went down to the beach for a little bit. Very relaxing. Definitely gonna come back.
Always have a good time at the pool bar, always have a good time at the pool, and then, to be able to walk down less than a minute walk to the beach is unbelievable.
Just like these drinks, life really is sweet at Paradise Island Beach Club.
Cheers to that.
Here are a few things that you can add to your hurricane kit to give it a much-needed upgrade. Portable power banks, solar chargers, solar-powered radios, and similar items. While you're at it, make sure you're stocked up on the regulars, battery-operated radio and flashlight, additional batteries, a comprehensive first aid kit, along with 2 weeks of medication. Be sure to add life vests for family members and a toolkit. There should be 1 gallon of water per day for each member of your family and non-perishable food. Be sure to secure important documents like banking and insurance information and government-issued identification. And pay close attention to the ZNS network for all your weather updates. If this seems like a lot, think of it as survival through preparation. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, you picked a perfect moment. I'm sitting down with Mrs. Shannon Dawn Cartwright, an athlete, an executive, public servant, and deputy leader of the Free National Movement. But we're just having a conversation tonight about what it means to lead when there's no longer a title, right? When the position no longer matters. And we're now getting to the harder half of the conversation, what it actually means to lead titleless. right? So, Shannon, when you think about, we went to break talking about the biggest lesson you've learned as a leader so far. And that lesson you said was that sometimes the decisions you're faced with making, the decisions you have to make, aren't necessarily the ones you want to make. Or like to make, right? Or even stand behind sometimes. Right. What do you think is the cost of leadership? Whether that's good leadership or bad leadership, it all has a price. What do you think is the cost, ultimately, of leadership?
Well, I'll say you that those, in my view, are two distinct questions. Right? I prefer not to say the cost of leadership, because there's a sacrifice and a responsibility.
Come on.
Some would say the burden of leadership. I'm very careful with that because it's still an honor to be in any leadership capacity.
Yes, sir.
But specifically to the burden of leadership. Leadership can be uncomfortable, it can be lonely, because your impact on an organization, on a company, on a group of people, it is so profound that, let me just say anecdotally.
Sure.
Imagine coming into a company, you're the CEO of a company, on a particular day, and you yourself have had a bad day so far, right? You got a lot of things going on because you're human too. You don't have the luxury to come into that organization because now you impact so many. So that's what I mean, that you carry a level of burden that your issues in that moment, yes, it's important to you, and there may be a family issue, but your issue in that moment can oftentimes take a back seat to the whole, to the organization. Now, there are ways to treat with that, but that's a level of responsibility and burden that all leaders carry, because your impact on that organization on that particular day, when you're not having a best day, because you're only human. And so leaders have to find ways to retreat, to balance how they deal with their personal lives, particularly when you're talking about political leadership. And the reason why I say that is because ain't nobody force you to run.
That's right.
Ain't nobody force you to knock on doors. You've come to persons, the Bahamian people, and say, listen, I would like to serve you.
Yes.
And so at the end of the day, while you want people to appreciate your sacrifices, that should not dictate how you lead on a particular day, because of the impact that you make, whether bad or good, on those that follow you.
You raise a good point, because the impact can be bad or good. The impact can be negative or positive. And I think many leaders misunderstand this concept of the burden of leadership. A sound leader is absolutely concerned about the impact he or she has on the people they get the privilege to serve in that role. My pastor says it this way all the time: it's burdensome to want to go to sleep, but on your spirit is Sister Johnson, you got to go pray for her. You got to wake up out your bed from next to your good wife and go pray for somebody or tarry for somebody else, when all you want to do is catch a good night's sleep, right? And to your point, you may have been having a family crisis, a matter of concern for you that is really top of mind for you. But today, this is this board meeting. This is this employee coming to you saying, boss lady, boss man, my wife having a so-and-so at home, I need your help. And you have to put that thing that you're burdened with aside to be that leader for that organization in that moment. Because in the moment you decide to treat yourself more important than that issue, that may be the moment that it all goes to hell, essentially, right? But I think what we're talking about here right now is that understanding that the price, the cost, the burden, whatever you want to call it, is a necessary part of the journey.
Absolutely.
Jesus, again, demonstrated it. The burden for you and I to be here tonight and talk this conversation and be able to talk about him so freely was his life. Right? And I'm not saying to you that you got to go die for your staff, but ultimately it costs you something to lead well. And when you think of the people, Shannon Dawn, who mismanaged the opportunity, who the title actually make worse, right? One time ago, there was the best employee you ever had. We made what we thought was the bold choice of making them leader, but all of a sudden, the worst of them come out. What do you think it is about the title, the leadership, the role, that sometimes brings out the worst in people?
I think, again, when you get a position, let's say you get a position, whatever position it may be, you have to instantly say to yourself, what do I want to achieve in the short, medium, and long term? What do I want my impact to be on these diverse group of people that I've joined with. And how do I run parallel to that? The evolution that needs to happen for me as a leader. And that's why I mention again, faith and mentorship. Because the pressures of leadership is great. It's not a complaint, but you have to fully appreciate the level of responsibility and the magnitude of what has been placed upon your head. We say in Bahamian vernacular, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And so,
excuse me.
It ought not be a complaint, but more of how do I balance? And it's incumbent upon you as a leader to know when to retreat, to know how to balance.
Yes, sir.
Because, yes, you have an obligation, first and foremost, to your family. But you also have an obligation to many, many others.
Yes.
And I believe that you can't separate it. And so it becomes important, and that's why even as leaders, your family, in whatever capacity, serves with you. The CEO who's getting home late, right? The politician who is, constantly out there trying to meet the needs of the constituents. The law enforcement leader who's on crime scenes all hours of the morning. Wherever leadership is, there requires a balance.
Absolutely. You said it must be an instant conversation with yourself. It can't be eventual.
Instant and constant.
Instant and constant.
Instant and constant.
What's the danger of thinking, man, I can handle this later on. I can deal with this later on. I can handle this. I can have this one come to Jesus moment and then forget about it. Why must it be both instant and constant?
One, because things are always fast-moving, fast-paced. You're moving from one crisis to the next. And no doubt there are some things that you might make some advancement on it, and you may be able to set it aside for a bit. But whatever you can deal in the moment, because crises mount.
Come on.
Right? Issues mount. And your job, and that's why one of the other utilities that I mentioned is poise and stability, because you are dealing with so much, and you need clarity of mind.
Yes, sir.
Because you are in moments where decisions that can be made is going to affect the whole, affect the overall objective that you have set out. And so this is a constant dialogue of faith, constant dialogue with you as a person and your conscience as a leader, constant dialogue with those who follow you, those you are leading, because things are changing so fast, and you have to be adaptable.
Yes, sir. You are referencing several tenets in one. You're talking about the evolution. You're talking about growth as a leader. Understanding that your position, the title you got yesterday, does not define you as a leader today. Tomorrow, something can happen that will radically shift your perspective on leadership or your role in leadership that you just got last week, last year, last month. Ultimately, if you're choosing not to grow, you're choosing to die. That's the way I see it. I always say on this show, too, I say in my book even, the only thing that grows in your waistline is the only thing that goes in your comfort zone is your waistline. When you're comfortable, when you choose to live in what used to be, you cannot embrace what's coming to you in the future. You also talked about this faith. You said it often to our conversation so far. When I worked in banking, there was a young lady, her name is Beryl Pugh. Ms. Pugh, if you're watching, good evening. I hope you're doing well. Ms. Pugh used to say to me two things every day, man, let's pray. Let's pray for clarity of mind and purity of heart. You're dealing with somebody else's money, and you're dealing with somebody else's time. You have to be clear in the way you're thinking to do this job effectively, and you must be pure at heart to do it honestly.
Right.
And I think it's one of those things that some leaders abandon when they get these positions. They abandon the role of integrity. They lose the integrity of what leadership actually means. As you look at having been in national leadership, Shannon Don, you look at the state of our country today, you look at what you have hopes to see our nation become. What do you think the role of integrity in leadership is? What should it actually define as we work to influence organizations, civic organizations, and our country at large?
Well, obviously we're now in the midst of celebrating 53 years of independence, a milestone. And, as the population reflect every independence on where we've come and where we have to go, there is no doubt that leadership will occupy or ought to occupy a very fundamental role, as we go forward.
Yes, sir.
And so leadership should transcend all aspects of Bahamian society, and we should encourage it, we should stimulate it. We ought not put limitations on leadership, whether by virtue of socioeconomic background, gender, whatever profession. Leadership is leadership. And so wherever that is, going forward, we need to stimulate a level of active citizenship in our country where you are making changes in your community, through your corner, on your job. Everybody must do what they can and lead from where they stand. And that's how important leadership is to the further advancement of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. In my view, we have to take a step back, truly take a step back, and begin to remind our citizens that each and every one of us has a duty. There's an oath called the Athenian City Oath, and there's a line in it that talks about, paraphrasing here, that we must leave our city more beautiful than it was given to us. So each of us have a responsibility. We have an obligation as Bahamians to ensure that we leave the Commonwealth in the Bahamas in a better state than it was given to us.
Absolutely.
The soil was tilled before us, and we must do our job to do the same.
Indeed. When you think of your career, the successes, the failures, the journey, what is the biggest mistake you've made as a leader that you can call on or recall at this time?
I think that the biggest mistake, I would say, is thinking that crisis and challenges has a timeline or an expiration date, right? And that's only human, right? Because you're going from one issue to the next. And so the truth is, your tenure as a leader in any organization might be filled with a lot of crisis management situations. As they say in the Bahamian vernacular, you may never catch a break.
Come on.
But ultimately, that's what the purpose of your tenure is. And then you move on, you know, to the next person. But understanding that you don't get to decide what challenges come. You only get to decide how you respond.
Come on.
Right?
You mentioned, I got to stop you for a minute. You mentioned sometimes you don't catch a break. We got to catch a quick break.
Right.
We're going to come back to continue our dialogue. This is, again, a really impactful conversation talking about what happens when your title is gone. How do you lead nonetheless? Stay close. Your break continues after this break.
Here are a few things that you can add to your hurricane kit to give it a much-needed upgrade. Portable power banks, solar chargers, solar-powered radios, and similar items. While you're at it, make sure you're stocked up on the regulars, battery-operated radio and flashlight, additional batteries, a comprehensive first aid kit, along with 2 weeks of medication. Be sure to add life vests for family members and a toolkit. There should be 1 gallon of water per day for each member of your family and non-perishable food. Be sure to secure important documents like banking and insurance information and government-issued identification. And pay close attention to the ZNS network for all your weather updates. If this seems like a lot, think of it as survival through preparation. This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
The tastiest thing about soccer is sharing it with the whole team, just like the new Ready for Soccer. A delicious lineup of 16 slices and 4 flavor sections. Perfect for sharing from start to finish, even beyond the 90 minutes. Get your team together and dig in, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza. After I was in a plane crash in June 1983, I lost my left arm. I had some good friends, came along, fishing guides. They said, man, we can teach you to fly fish. Exhumo, exhumo. Can you see? Look at it, man. One of the nicest places you want to be in the world. There were challenges learning to cast, learning to put a fly on a leader, learning to tie the different knots for me as a handicapped individual. As a matter of fact, I don't really feel handicapped because I could do everything, man. Anything anybody could do, I think I could do it too. Because put your mindset to do anything, no matter what you are, what you look like, what's happening to you, you can do it. Persons in our positions, it's hard to get fundings and very, very expensive. SBDC would be helpful in regards to help funding people with disabilities. So nothing is impossible if you're disabled. Any kind of disability. Put faith in God and trust God. Believe you will overcome.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, you're late, but that's okay. We are so happy to have you join us tonight. We are talking tonight with Shannon Don Cartwright, and our conversation that is get around the question, what do you do when the title is gone? And we've been talking about influence as the premise of this whole concept of leadership, influence and impact. But let's get practical right now, Shannon Don. There is someone right now that's been in leadership for a very short time and a very long time, and they've had a hard time building actual influence. How does someone go about establishing influence, building influence, and then leveraging influence along their journey of leadership?
You know, it starts what we talked about, building the relationships. This is about any form of leadership, wherever it is. It's about people. It's about your human resources. It's about helping people to fulfill their purpose in the scheme of the overall objective that you have. And so what I would say to those persons is that be people-focused, understand that what you're trying to build is not merely compliance, because if it's just about your position, then you will get compliance.
Absolutely.
Right? But if it's about the relationship, then you will build influence. What does influence versus compliance give you the ability to do? The influence just allows more growth. Compliance will just allow a pedestrian kind of walk towards the goal. It may take longer. Things may be prolonged because people are doing it just because. It's about getting buy-in. And the best way to get buy-in into an overall objective, a vision, is to know the people who are on this journey with you. And as importantly, how do they make that connection between what this overall goal is and their personal investment in that goal? And so we talked about 53 years of independence, right? So what is the vision of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas going forward? And how does each and every one of us participate in that vision for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, that vested interest where everybody feels as if we are on a journey, and that's where we have to get to.
The language you're using, I believe, is intentional. You said, how do we participate? Not anticipate, not just observe, not spectate, but participate in this common goal, this one vision. Why is it important that leaders still participate? Sometimes we believe that when we get the role, when we've achieved the goal, that I can now take my hands off of it and let them do what they must, or blame those around us. Why is it important that leaders still participate, even as they lead the charge?
The old adage, Ahmad, lead by example.
Come on.
Lead by example. Never miss an opportunity to show those that you lead that you are on their level, that you're capable of not only doing what they can do, but you have not forgotten that this is what got you here.
Yes, sir.
Because ultimately, talking about taking away the title, once you take away the title, then the truth is we are all the same. That's the point.
Come on.
It's just that they have chosen to elevate you or whoever it is to be the leader, and that's why I go back to relatability. People elevate and allow themselves to be influenced by people who are like them.
Yes.
It's just that we've chosen different roles. There are people who come in an organization or come in a company. They have no either aspirations to be the CEO, nor do they want to be, and that's okay. But they have a valuable role to play. but they see something in someone that they say to themselves, you know what? That person, I believe, will make a great leader. Because ultimately, Ahmad, I use the analogy of the conductor and the choir director. The conductor in front of the orchestra probably can't even play an instrument, but his or her job is to stand in the front of there and to bring the music together. The choir director probably don't have to be able to sing a note, but his or her job is to stand in front of the choir with the overall objective of creating this one sound. So again, the importance of that person who is the leader, it's not necessarily so much, it's not about that position, but what they are able to garner in terms of the influence to get everybody to work towards a common goal.
Yes, sir. I want to talk for a moment about leading when you've been wounded. It didn't go your way.
Right.
It hurt. They hurt you. It wasn't fun. This part ain't the best part. How do you lead? How do you get people to galvanize? How do you still build relationships with the people who have in some way maybe frustrated you, have hurt you, done something wrong to you or for you? How do you still carry that on?
Well, one of the questions you did ask earlier was about the cost of leadership.
Yes.
One of the costs of leadership is that you will be hurt at times. That is the reality, because you're dealing with human beings. But this again, where your faith comes in, and commitment to the larger cause. And that's why we started off in the conversation, I said to you, that leadership, in my view, is a spiritual concept.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because what you need to thrive in leadership is things that God tells us every day that we should be fighting to be. And one of those things is forgiveness, because some of the very same people that you have to lead for the sake of the whole may be some of the very same persons that may offend you in a certain situations. That is difficult.
Yes.
But again, that's why your faith and your focus on the overall purpose of which you hold this position is very important.
Indeed. I want you to speak to our audience in the next 60 seconds. We are out of time, believe it or not. But what would you say to the young Bahamian right now who is actively seeking leadership, whether that's public service or whether that's in corporate Bahamas on entrepreneurship? What is the one thing you want them to hold on to as they take that leap of faith and enter the realm of leadership tonight?
Make a change wherever you are. Whenever you are, whatever station in life, just make a difference. Be sure at the end of the day that, again, you will not be remembered for those distinctions before and after your name, but truly how you enrich the lives of others, what you would have done to change your country, to hold fast to your faith, to develop your faith, because ultimately, your faith and your commitment to God and your ultimate purpose allows you to cultivate the leader within you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the question was, who are you when the title is gone? And here's where I believe we landed tonight. We have been taught to chase the wrong thing. From the time we were young, we are told to climb, get the position, get the promotion, get the appointment, get your name on the door. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. Ambition is a gift. But somewhere along the way, a lot of us quietly stopped building leaders and started building resumes. And the problem with the resume is that it is as a list of things that were given to you. Every line on it, somebody had to hand you, which means every line on it, somebody can also take away. But influence doesn't work like that. Nobody appoints you to influence. There is no ceremony, there's no announcement, there's no letter. Influence is built one quiet deposit at a time. And how you treat people when there is nothing in it for you. And whether your word holds when keeping it costs you something. And the young person you poured into when nobody was watching and nobody was counting. Influence is not conferred, it is earned. And because it was earned, it cannot be recalled. That's the whole difference. A title makes people answer to you. Influence makes people listen to you. A title fills a chair, influence fills a room, whether or not you are sitting in that chair at all. So hear me tonight, whoever you are, if you are holding a big title right now, hold it loosely. Use it, spend it, pour it out on somebody while you have it, because that loan will come to you one day. And the only part you get to keep is what you gave away with it. And if you're sitting there tonight thinking, this is nothing, that's nothing about you, and if you feel unseen, if you feel uncredentialed, unappointed, unpermitted, then understand what you actually have. You are free to start building the only thing that was ever going to last anyway. That is influence. And so you can start tonight. You do not need anybody's permission to be a person of impact. You don't need to be somebody of importance to be of impact, because here's the whole truth this I was walking toward. They can take the office, they can take the platform, they can take the people, they take the nameplate, but they cannot take you. They cannot remove what you have built, what you've poured into somebody else. The ones you told the truth to when the lie was easier. The ones you were leading today because you poured into them yesterday. Nobody's ever going to take those things back from you. That's not a position, that's a legacy. Tonight, we want to thank Mr. Shannon Ankara for joining us on the Rundown on Leadership. I believe our conversation has been impactful and deeply introspective. If you take the time to listen to what was said tonight, you can understand how you can become a better leader as you continue your journey of leadership. We invite you to stay tuned to the Bahamas tonight at 11 p.m. with our Carvel Pipe Farm, where we have the final things and all things happening in news. This is Amado Shaw Thompson for the Rundown on Leadership. We will see you next time, should the Lord delay his calling. Good night, everybody. Take care.
In Harbour Island, North Neutral, I'm Charles Fisher. This is ZNS.
It's an initiative that has sparked a movement. How could something so simple as feeding people become the catalyst to unifying business, civic, religious, and independent groups? 6 years ago, when the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies birthed the Thanksgiving Day feeding program, executives of the company had no idea it would grow so quickly and gain the kind of momentum it did. Who would have thought that feeding a community on Thanksgiving would mushroom into feeding the nation through the iconic name, Let's Make a Difference? On Thanksgiving Day, once again, the country came together to ensure everyone had a meal to enjoy.